We're live.
Want to start, Karama, or you want me to start?
Sure, yeah. Assalamu alaikum. Hi, everyone. We greet you. I am right now in Nablus. Mesa is also in Nablus. And we greet everyone. We are getting ready for our weekly webinar. We will start with our speakers from Gaza, as always. We hope to hear from as many of them as possible. Unfortunately, the genocide is escalating. We are in deep fear for their lives and for Gaza and Gaza City and its all inhabitants, where the criminal state has been escalating its campaign against its people. And we are hearing more and more of bombing big towers and destroying as much of Gaza City as possible. We also will hopefully hear from Lieutenant Anthony Aguilar. He is on his way to the airport, but he will try to join us before his flight to talk to us about his future event at the United Nations. We will hear from a doctor from UK who will talk to us about his work against genocide in the UK, Dr. Muhammad Al-Hams. And we will hear from a political cartoonist, Nath and Gupon from South Africa. And right now we have Rumaila from Gaza. Rinal Zorob from Gaza. And we also have Muad Abu Rabi' from Gaza, and we will start with them. So maybe we can start with Rinal since we have never heard from her. We're trying to get the speakers from Gaza to speak first before we lose them because the internet, as always, is unpredictable. So Rinal, if you can please.
Before we start, Karama, please. Before you start, we're sending our condolences to Karama and Mesa for the passing of their father, Dr. Yaqub Hawash, who was a renowned cardiologist in the city of Gaza and one of the founders of the National Hospital in Gaza City.
Nablus.
In Nablus.
يا ريت غزة.
In Nablus, Dr. Yaqub Hawash was always, I don't know who's calling me, I'm sorry, always an example of the steadfastness of the highest moral that any healthcare professional can hold. He was a role model for all of us, all the young doctors and healthcare workers in Palestine in general, in Nablus, in Gaza, and the West Bank. And despite the difficult week, we're happy that they are here. This just makes a statement that no matter what, our obligation as doctors, healthcare workers, especially Mesa and Krama, to fight and combat genocide and being on the side of the truth, expose the crimes, amplify the voices of the victims, always is a priority. So thank you, Karama. Thank you, Mesa, for being here despite the pain and the sorrow that you're going through. And now, yes.
Thank you, Nidan. Knowing our father, he would have expecting us to be doing this work. He said
he would have expected nothing less.
Yeah, he always said an hour of work is better than a year spent in worship. So that's work is actually worship and religion. So he left a legacy of service and we continue. Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Yes, now we can go to Rinal. Rinal, you are in Khan Yunis in Gaza. Just please tell us a little bit briefly about you, who you are, what do you do, how's the situation there in Khan Yunis, and then what kind of work or project or research you are working on. Ahla sahla, Rinal.
First of all, I'm Rina Al-Zahra. I'm a clinical nutritionist graduated with bachelor degree from Al-Azhar University Now I'm going in the clinical nutrition. Now I'm going to finalize my postgraduate degree with the clinical nutrition from Al-Azhar University too. I worked as a clinical instructor, sorry. I worked as a teaching assistant, administrative assistant, and now I'm currently as working as a nutrition supervisor. Today I'm going to present my work with thesis with the birth outcome among displaced women during the protracted armed conflict in Gaza Strip. Can I share my screen?
Yes, please.
I think we should give her maybe authority to share. Okay.
Uh,
Make it in a presentation. Okay, yeah.
sorry, I didn't hear you.
It's good.
Okay, go ahead.
We see your screen. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. My thesis title will be Birth Outcomes Among Displaced Women During Protracted Armed Conflict in the Gaza Strip. We choose this topic because the Gaza Strip has experienced protracted armed conflict, and displaced women, especially displaced pregnant women, face critical health challenges. Understanding birth outcome in this context is very important for shaping effective humanitarian and health intervention for such a group, which is a vulnerable group. This thesis will be supervised by Dr. Ihab Nasser and Professor Vera Muzurat. As you know, the armed conflict severely disrupt the health system, displaced population, and undermine access to essential services. All of these things put the pregnant woman at significant risk, especially that they are a vulnerable group. This disruption also lead to inadequate prenatal care, poor nutrition, and heightened psychological stress, all of which lead to adverse birth outcomes such as preterm birth, low birth weight, and stillbirth, in addition to congenital abnormalities and all of these things. In addition, displacement forces expectant mothers into overcrowded shelters with limited food and sanitation. This might lead or definitely lead to malnutrition, and can have harmful effect on both the mother and the infant. Also, the emotional stress from conflict further compounds this risk by negatively affect the fetal growth and birth outcomes, causing intrauterine growth retardation, preterm birth, congenital abnormalities, and all of these adverse outcomes. In addition to affecting the sanitation, the food access, and the maternal health, the conflict also damaged the healthcare infrastructure, and this thing affects the accessibility of the pregnant woman to the prenatal care and the clinics, which in turn definitely affect the growth of the infant. As you know, the ongoing conflict in Gaza has led to mass displacement, severely affecting the health of over more than 50,000 of pregnant women. These women have limited access to health care, inadequate nutrition, since the gam rate among pregnant and lactating women in Gaza Strip for acute malnutrition currently is 35%. Previously, it was 45%. It's a large prevalence of malnutrition among this vulnerable group. Also, it's lead to intense psychological stress. All of these contributing to a surge in adverse pregnancy outcomes, such as miscarriage, preterm birth, low birth weight, and stillbirth. Since October 7th, the collapse of health infrastructure, including the closure of 14 hospitals, 54 clinics, all of these factors force the pregnant woman to give birth in unsafe condition without skilled care. In addition to overcrowded shelters and severe food insecurity, all of these things also lead to worsening the health of the mother and leading to a rise in neonatal mortality and preterm birth in Gaza. While several studies document general health outcomes during conflict, few focuses on specifically on displaced pregnant women in Gaza. So, in addition, none have thorough there is a lack of comprehensive research on pregnancy outcome in such context. So our study aims to fill this gap by providing empirical data to support maternal health policies and humanitarian intervention in Gaza. This study is also integrates multiple dimensions within a conflicted setting, providing a holistic view of maternal and neonatal health risk. Our main goal of this study is to evaluate the effect of war-related displacement on birth outcomes among pregnant women in the Gaza Strip. This study is also aimed to determine the incidence of adverse pregnancy outcomes, mainly or weight among displaced women during the armed conflict. In addition, we are going to assess the nutritional status of pregnant women affected by displacement in the Gaza Strip. We are going to evaluate the birth outcome among pregnant women, including the birth weight, length, head circumference, and chest circumference. We will identify the relationship between maternal dietary intake during pregnancy and neonatal nutritional outcomes, using 24-hour recall and diet quality index during pregnancy. We will also assess the effect of distal factors, which I will present in the next slide, on the birth outcomes, which include war context, humanitarian access, socioeconomic status, and environmental factors. Finally, we are going to determine the relationship between psychological stress, healthcare access, and birth outcomes. The conceptual framework illustrates the multi-layered determinants contributing to adverse birth outcome within the Gaza context, particularly low birth weight and preterm birth. This model categorizes these determinants into three levels: distal factors, intermediate factors, and proximate factors. At the distal level, broader structure and contextual factors are identified. These include the war context characterized by displacement, destruction of infrastructure, restricted movement, violence, and limited access to basic resources. Alongside this, socioeconomic status reflected in the poverty, food insecurity, unemployment, and maternal age exerts a powerful influences. Environmental factors such as poor access to healthcare services, inadequate water and sanitation, substandard housing, and exposure to smoking further compound risk. The distal factor influence contributes to intermediate factors, which capture the more intermediate consequences of living in a conflict setting, Psychological stress, including anxiety, depression, trauma, and or post-traumatic stress disorder, is a common outcome of war-related instability. Similarly, healthcare access becomes severely compromised due to limited medical supplies, understaffing, and unsafe condition for delivery. As a result, these pressures directly affect proximate factors that have the most immediate impact on pregnancy and childbirth. Maternal nutrition, especially dietary intake and maternal status, can be significantly affected by food scarcity, stress, and displacement. Maternal health also becomes vulnerable to complications, infections, and exacerbation of pre-existing condition under this condition. Ultimately, the interaction of these multiple layers of influence determines birth outcomes, particularly the likelihood of low birth weight and preterm birth. By mapping these relationships, the framework underscores the importance of addressing both direct and indirect determinants of maternal and newborn health in humanitarian setting. It also reinforces the need for an integration approach in research and intervention planning, especially in protracted crises such as in Gaza Strip. The current study will utilize a prospective cohort study design to evaluate the effect of war-related displacement on birth outcome among pregnant women. This design allows tracking participants from late pregnancy through delivery. It will help minimizing the recall bias and enabling assessment of cause and effect relationship. So it's particularly suited for evaluating the impact of ongoing conflict on health outcomes. The study subject will be recruited from primary healthcare, prenatal healthcare facilities across the Gaza Strip, as well as the field hospitals, which were founded during the war, including hospitals, clinics that provided antenatal and postnatal services. Unfortunately, our data collection only will be in the southern of Gaza, due to the evacuation in the Gaza city and North Gaza city. So the data collection will be only in the southern Gaza. Our target population will comprise all pregnant women residing in the Gaza Strip who have experienced displacement due to the current conflict. The participant will be enrolled after the week of 32 of gestation and followed until delivery. For sample size calculation, we use the Grishti and Morgan formula, and we use the prevalence of low birth weight post the Gulf War, which is 7.4%. Our final sample size will be 121 cases. Our subjects will be recruited in this study through a non-probability consecutive sampling method after meeting the inclusion criteria to reach the total sample size. Due to the logistical and ethical constraints during conflict, consecutive sampling ensures timely recruitment of all eligible and consenting participants. It's a practical and this type of sampling is practical in healthcare settings dealing with displaced population. The sampling frame of this study will be based on the inclusion and exclusion criteria as follows. The inclusion criteria will be all the participants with gestational age more than 32 weeks will be included in our study. In addition, apparently healthy pregnant women aged 19 to 40 years old experienced displaced due to armed conflict within the current pregnancy. All of these women will be enrolled in the study. For mothers with chronic diseases, children who had physical deformities and who showed indicators of serious disease, And those who refuse the participation in the study will not enroll in our study. The participant will be asked to fulfill the face-to-face interview-based questionnaire. After fulfilling the inclusion criteria, all of the participants will given a written informed consent to participate in the study after explaining the purpose of this study. Our questionnaire will contain the following data. First of all, we are going to collect the social demographic data. Social demographic and economic information will include the participants' age, education level, occupational status, family size, total monthly income, economic status, current housing status, and food insecurity. For food insecurity, we will use the household food insecurity access scale to assess the household food security during the war. Conflict-related factor also will be collected, including duration and history of displacement, living condition at displacement site, and access to food and water. Environmental factor will also collected, including the access to healthcare facilities, water and sanitation, housing condition, smoking status, including positive and negative smoking, in addition to humanitarian aid access, such as food distribution points, shelter assistance, maternal and childhood services, and emergency reliefs. The participant too will be asked to give information on prenatal care, the times, number of times the pregnant woman go to the neonatal clinics, barriers to health care, and availability of a nutritionist among neonatal or natal care. For psychological factors, the participant will be asked about stress and maternal health and social support during pregnancy. We will use we will measure the anxiety and depression among mothers using the scale GAD-7 for anxiety and BHQ-9 for depression. Data on maternal nutrition and health will be collected, including pre-pregnancy health, dietary intake during pregnancy, nutritional status, and pregnancy-related issues. We will collect a 24-hour recall from each pregnant woman. The data from repeated 24-hour recall will be used as a pool for information for the diet quality index for pregnancy. The diet quality index for pregnancy is a validated nutrition assessment tool to evaluate how well a pregnant woman's diet aligns with dietary recommendation. It will measure both the quality and the quantity of food and the nutrient consumption during the pregnancy. It's used also to assess the nutritional adequacy during pregnancy, predicting birth outcome, and guiding nutritional counseling and public health intervention. In addition to the 24-hour recall and diet quality index for pregnancy, we will also ask about folic acid and iron intake during pregnancy during the first trimester, and multivitamin supplementation consumption during the second and third trimester. In addition, we will measure the mid-upper arm circumference for the mother as a tool for assessing the malnutrition among pregnant women. In addition, the participant will be asked on weight prior the pregnancy, and we will take the age just before the delivery and after the delivery to assess the range of weight gain during pregnancy, which reflects if the weight gain was healthy or not. We are going to assess the birth outcome or outcomes during the infant. All of the previous data will be collected after the week of gestation 32. The second part of the questionnaire will be collected after delivery, which is include birth outcome and anthropometric measurement of the newborn. Data on birth outcome and the neonatal health indicators will be collected. Adverse birth outcome will classified as low birth weight, preterm delivery. Low birth weight, as we know, is defined all children less than with weight less than 2.5 kilograms. We are going also to evaluate the Apgar score. Sorry. For anthropometric measurement for the newborn, we will assess the body weight, length of the newborn, and head circumference, in addition to the chest circumference, which is available tool for identifying low birth weight in infants. For statistical analysis, we are going to analyze our data using SPSS version 29. Before collecting any data, we will give a written permission. We will take a written permission and approval obtained from my university, Al-Azhar University, Helsinki Committee for Ethical Approval, in addition to the approval from the Ministry of Health, the Palestinian Ministry of Health. A written consent form will be obtained from all participants with the explicit understanding. We are going to clarifying all the steps of the study to the participant, clarifying that the confidential, the data will be kept securely. All participants will be informed that in full about how their data will be used and who will have the access for it. In addition to legal requirement, organizational policy will also be followed. This is a timeline for my study, as hopefully I'm going to finalize it in next February, as I hope. The budget outline will be as follows. For stationery, we will use about $500 to $700. For scientific publication, approximately $1,000. For research assistants, we will need 5 assistants, for 3 months, $300 for each. For biochemical test, we will use I forget to mention that we are going to do CBC test, albumin, CRB, HF, ferritin, soluble transferrin receptors. All of these tests will be taken for the pregnant woman, and in order to assess the nutritional status of the mother. Transportation will cost about $1,000, and honorarium it's about $3,000. My minimum estimation of the budget will be $40,000, and the maximum estimation will be $40,200. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Rinal.
so much, Rinal, for this very comprehensive overview of how you will conduct your study. And as much as facts speak for themselves, collecting data and doing formal clinical research is essential, especially in the medical community, to make the facts speak for themselves, use the information from studies to inform policy and call for action. These studies are very important because there is scarcity in studies of genocide's effect on health systems and health outcomes. And our colleagues in Gaza have been pioneers in very high quality research. So we thank you, we support your research, and we support your colleagues in this very important work, and we hope to hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
future. Maisal, do you want to introduce the next speaker?
Absolutely. Our next speaker is Rousaila. Rousaila is a 15-year-old genocide survivor from Gaza who lives in Ottawa. I had the privilege of hearing Rousaila speak in one of the visuals that we held recently in the capital of Canada, in solidarity with our people in Gaza. And her words were not only powerful, but moving and heartfelt. I'm very proud of you, Rousaila. Thank you so much for being here with us. I know speaking is really hard because you've lost so much in Gaza and you continue to lose, and we all are, perpetually feeling that loss, and things seems to be getting worse. So I thank you for being here, and I invite you to speak from the heart and share with us anything you would like to share. Thank you, Rousaila.
So, hello, my name is Rousaila. Today I want to
Maisal, can you stop sharing the screen so we can actually see Rousaila? Yeah, perfect.
So today I want to share a part of my experience and what happened to me during the ongoing genocide. So I lived in the north of Gaza. On October 9th, 2023, the Israeli army had ordered us to leave our home, our memories, and everything behind. I was very afraid because I knew my home could be bombed at any moment. My father was out trying to get food for us. I held my little sister Zena in my arms. She was only 3 years old, and I left everything behind. I didn't even wear any shoes. My family of 6 people kept moving from place to place, looking for safety. But in this genocide, there is no safe place for anyone. In one of the places where we stayed, there were more than 15 people in a small room. I was always afraid that we would be bombed while moving. I was scared of losing people I love, but actually, every day I lost so many friends, so many neighbors. Like yesterday, one of our neighbors died, and I don't know, he just died while he working in his work. And yesterday, my friend lost her cousin too. In the morning, I was speaking to her, and she told me, Rousaila, I hope to die. If I die, please just remember me. Don't forget me. Every day, we're losing so many friends. We're losing people from their people. Nobody is moving. The situation in Gaza getting worse every day, and nothing is changing. Nothing at all. The children dying. Everything. No life in Gaza. No life. Everybody is losing so many things. Like me, I just lost my home and my friends, but like the people who lose their peoples. I don't know what I say because my experience is just a little bit for their experience. Like I lived just for 4 months, and like I had this experience, this terrible experience. I saw so many terrible things that I can't forget in this day. Like the blood that I see when the glasses broke and the glasses kept to my sister's head and hit her. She was only 3 years old too. And the phosphorus gas that I smell. I don't know what the people doing. Why there's nobody moving? Nothing is changing, and I don't know. Like when I talk to my friends, like she wants to die. She's 16 years old. She should like have a goal for her life. What to study, what to get after that. But I don't know. Her dream now is just dying. That's what the world wants. I feel embarrassing to show my experience because my experience is nothing behind them, like nothing. I can't forget the sounds of the rockets when they fall, and then hearing the explosion and seeing smoke everywhere. It's like I just want you to imagine. That's it. I just want this genocide to end. Like, I wish I can do anything. Like when I talk to my friends every day, like I can't talk to him actually. Like what I'm going to do for them. Like I can't do anything for them. I can't. So the hospitals too. The hospitals in Gaza, there is no medicine. Maybe you're seeing in the social media the wounded without beds in the hallways, without medicine, without anything. There is nothing in Gaza. There is nothing. Nothing. We need to stop this genocide. Like I don't know. No education. Like my friends asking me, like, what grade are you in? I feel shy to answer them. Like they still in grade 9 and I'm now in grade 11. So
رسالة حبيبتي.
nothing is changing. Like
وسيدة، الله يعطيك العافية، الله يقويك. يعني اسمحوا لي my first my colleagues، يعني we have no work to talk to Saida. I'm just returned from Gaza town at this moment. I talked to Dr. Nadal about the suffering Saida, and all of us are still facing horrible things and time. I don't know when these horrible actions will stop. So I stand with my people here and also you. We need to stop the genocide. The only solution that available for us is to stop the genocide. Just returned from the crowded coastal area road. The people there and the elderly people also, the orphans, the women's, no choice. Just the displacement process is the death part from our life. And the occupation need to normalize our people to say something, repeated actions like that, to accept to be displaced more than, I know, people who forced to be expelled more than 15 times. And the last horrible scene that completely destroying the towers. What's the meaning of towers? Towers is a residential area that contains power, solar energy, and some hopes of to stay alive, and a lot of hundreds of things around every tower. When they destroy the tower, they destroy the life at this region, at that region, and also force people to be expelled to unknown region. I will give me a permission, Dr. Karma and my colleagues, to complete my speech until my colleagues Saira, Soira, to take rest and maybe to participate or complete their testimonies.
Iyad, if you don't mind, I just want to say something to Rusaila
Yeah,
because
of course.
she was Rusaila Habibti, you gave us a very strong, powerful testimony. We are so proud of you. We are proud of your steadfastness. We are proud of your composure. And of course, it is okay to be tearful, and it's the only natural thing to feel these feelings. All of us share the same feelings with you, and all of us support you, and we will not rest until this genocide ends, until your friends in Gaza go to school, and until your friends do not fear the bombs and do not fear the loss of their parents or their siblings or their limbs every day. So consider us your extended family, Rusayla Habibti. We will always be in your corner, and inshallah, Gaza will see better days very soon, Ya Rab.
Inshallah.
يا رب.
Please continue.
يا رب. Thank you, Karma. And also, my greetings to all my colleagues in this great webinar. First, I hope to transfer the greetings from Dr. Walid Al-Hassan. He's from America. He just come to Gaza before a couple of days, and he's sending his honor and his greatest thanks to you. I appreciated his attendance, and he also sent his greetings to you, Dr. Nadar, Dr. Karma, Dr. Dania, all of you. He following our webinar, even thought in this genocide. Today he's went to Gaza town to serve in Al-Quds hospital in Tal al-Hawa region there, and he promised me to watch our webinar now. And this is from my side. He is sending his solidarity with us, and he encouraged us to continue our work with our colleagues to send the humanitarian message about the real suffering from the field here. My colleagues, what's happening in the last 48 hours in Gaza town is unprecedented intensification of bombardment, also forcing people to flee from the city under heavy fire with no distinction also between targets. What's happened today is particularly alarming. Even the most basic necessities of life still remaining in our tents or apartments. Also, they are little number of furniture. Also, they force people to leave everything. At this early morning in a Shafiq camp, I witnessed from my testimonies, I went there. They just grant our civilians and displacement there little minutes to leave the classroom from the school, preschool in Shafiq Hospital, without taking any basic needs, some little foods and clothes and covers with them, and just force them to flee in the street and left behind all of that things. The displaced were not given enough time to evacuate, just a few minutes. And they were running into the streets, as you witnessed in some video clips in internet, with nothing to sustain their lives. So this is a new tactics, a new calculated manners that they need to force people to expel from all of the remaining tents in Gaza. Today, the occupation targeted 3 schools and more than 50 big buildings in a Shafiq refugee camp, as well as the camps hosting tents for displaced families, depriving them even of their few worn-out generators, and relied on some batteries and solar energy there. The message is clear for the people to force all camps into further displacement and to let all of the international community to accept, normalize these scenes. In less than 48 hours, we have witnessed a medium to large scale displacement. From my testimonies, the coastal road is very crowded, and the car and people move slightly. Maybe I spent more than 3 hours walking from Al-Gharabli region in the coastal area in Gaza town to the Deir al-Balah to achieve the center of Deir al-Balah town from the walking. It's a very bad situation and conditions, and really a very serious development in this moment, especially given the severe overcrowding in the south. As we have previously noted, there are no available spaces or adequate services here. Since midnight, Gaza City has been under an intense bombardment with heavy bombs. I witnessed, we haven't seen something like before from the beginning of the war. randomly without discrimination. They just targeted buildings and residential neighborhoods, especially in Western Gaza. The questions from all of the world, what does this escalation in Western Gaza mean? I will clarify this. It's very important to catch the conceptual and the horrible that they still committing. The tactic is somewhat different from the previous ones, which focused on the far north and east part of the Gaza town. Western Gaza is the center of displacement now, the area that the occupation has repeatedly claimed to be safe and safe zone, but with the massive number of displaced people there, targeting it today and the last midnight directly aims at depopulating and destroying the city. In other words, eliminating its civilian residents. It's very important note because in their reports, I follow the Israeli newspaper for more than last 3 days. They have still facing a big struggle that the people stay in Gaza town. So they changed their plan by following something like that we call firing randomly and targeting western part of Gaza town because they mentioned in their psychological operations against civilians in Gaza town, the western part of Gaza also it's not safe for you. You must leave it. You must leave it now. And they sent drones and war plans and hit huge buildings. Before 2 hours or maybe 3, they targeted the last huge building for the Islamic University, which contains displacements and peoples there. They just grant them 5 minutes to evacuate. It's my university. I know here, as a teacher there. It's a huge building, and they just grant them 5 minutes to evacuate it without taking any basic needs. This is repeated at this moment when I talk to you. Also, the bombardment is concentrated on Al-Shati refugee camp and to the coastal area, which lays right along the Gaza sea shore. I have known Al-Shati since from my childhood. I found there. My childhood as an overcrowded place in 1984 up to 1975. The previous Prime Minister, Israeli Prime Minister Ariel Sharon, attempt to forcibly displace a part of its residents. Historically, Al-Shati has always been the most densely populated camp. Before the war, also, most of my colleagues maybe know this information. With the recent waves of displacement, the camp and Gaza's entire coastal line have become enormously congested with the number of displaced people. They're exceeding hundreds of thousands, and in addition to the original residents who are themselves moving and being displaced internally for the last few days. What's happening is an escalation of suffering, killing, and forced displacement, as we have stated before. This is a process of forced transfer and silent occupation without the use of tanks, so as not to cost the army, its soldiers, or something like that. Instead, the price is paid by the local civilians only through bombardment and killing. The pressure is only on civilians. There is no real military operation. We must do an important modification. We didn't talk about military operation, just a genocide, another chapter, and it's just suffering for the civilians. We are not witnessing a war between two sides. What's taking place is a systematic killing, deliberate destruction of civilians, starving them and intensifying their suffering by displacing them. The coastal road is completely overcrowded with thousands of people and hundreds of vehicles often taking hours to move even slightly. In the heat of summer also, without no sweet water, without enough food, I witnessed a lot of children still waiting in cars, and they haven't ability to walk. Also, after we starved tightly for more 150 days, and we have just a little amount of foods for every families now, I cannot imagine how these families can work and reach the south as they need from us. Also, the suffering of displacement from Gaza is extreme complex, tied to the high cost of transportation, the lack of vehicles, and inability of residents to carry their basic needs. As I mentioned before, the occupation prevent them from obtaining any basic needs, to increase the suffering also. As you have all seen, people are throwing away their furniture or selling it for firewood from the windows of towers and apartments because they have no way to transport it also. And when they finally reach the south, they find no empty spaces, no prepared shelters, no tents, and no genuinely safe areas that can accommodate such massive numbers of displaced people. Really, the situation here, my colleagues, is deepening the genocide and the suffering. Also, the remaining functioning hospital here, suffering from the shortage and sometimes lack of medical supplies. We still try to stay alive by a lot of initiatives, but after the increasing and intensifying bombing of Gaza town, my expectation they will shrink the remaining area with and overcrowded with the civilians there, and maybe they put some gates in the south to control the peoples who will forced to be displaced from Gaza to the Moraj region. They put the plan and they do some modification to increase the suffering by preventing distribution foods in the Gaza town. And also the most important things, they close the Zekim cross point from last day to decrease the number of available foods there and to increase the suffering and to force people to be displaced. So this is another chapter of starvation began for more than 48 hours, and especially in Gaza town. And the remaining, the entering some trucks in the south, especially in the middle governance, and to the south part of Khan Yunis and west part of Khan Yunis. But in Gaza town, I witnessed there they closed the Zakim cross point. There is no clarification. Some of local sources talk about they need to increase the suffering and they force people to be displaced. I received hundreds of human appeals, my colleagues, from the civilians, women's, orphans, and also people who suffered from kidney failure. They haven't wheelchair to be displaced from the Gaza town, and they haven't any choice. They're still waiting there the death. At the last night, when they increased the bombardment around the Ashifa hospital and targeted indiscrimination people there and caused tens of casualties, I received urgent calls from a lot of my colleagues and my people there. They forced them to displace internally after they pushed them to the western part. Now, the intensifying bombardment for more than 24 hours, I'm now just hearing the bombing in Gaza town, in the coastal area, to force people to speed them to evacuate the Gaza town. From my testimonies, maybe our estimation 200,000 people displaced from Gaza town. But in the Gaza town, we must talk about the remaining people there. We have more than 800,000 people stay there. So even though the scenes showing overcrowded roads and thousands, but the people still there have more than who is displaced to the south. We must talk about them, about their suffering, about the shortage of the sweet water, and they still facing the bombardment until this moment. So we must have a balance in coverage about the number of displaced people and they are suffering in the south and there is no shelter, and also the remaining people. There is a very important things to support their resilience and to try to save their lives and increase the pressure over the international media to take care about the remaining people, because the Israeli need to market the Gaza town is evacuated, and they announced in their media this evening. The Gaza town is maybe roughly evacuated. So we must take care in our observation and our talk about the Gaza town. We have a lot of people stay there, especially in the western part. I know a lot of them need to be displaced, but there is no choice. There is no available things, nothing available for them. As my colleague Rusaila talked, and I appreciated her tears, and I touch her suffering like me and all of our people. But even though what's still happening, we must increase the pressure, awareness, and talk. This is the systematic killing. It's a well done, calculated policy to increase the suffering. If you witnessed a lot of people who's lost their parents and who's adults when their families still remaining some children in tents, there is no one can take care for those children and to secure them and displace them with a secure manner. So
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you done?
Yeah, I'm done. I'm ready for any questions, and thank you so much for your listening.
Thank you. Thank you for this important update. As you said, this is not a war. This is a campaign of mass slaughter on a trapped civilians in the Gaza City now. As we said, all eyes on Gaza City. 800,000 civilians now who are being mass slaughtered, broad daylight on our watch in front of the whole world. It is not a war because the war is usually a conflict between two armies, and there are no two armies here. There's only one army that is committing a mass slaughter campaign. But even if, like in Ukraine, what's happening in Ukraine is a war because there are two armies, the Russia on one side, Ukraine supported by all the Western empires on the other side, two armies fighting each other. That is a war. What's happening in Gaza is a mass slaughter campaign on civilians. But even if you agree it is a war, even the war has rules. By their own admissions, the Israeli intelligence services, their own admissions said 83% of the victims of this onslaught are civilians. That is not a war. But before we move on, we want to hear back from Rusaila to finish her thoughts, because she's a survivor of this genocide. Then after that, we're going to go to Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Aguilar before he goes on his flight. Then we're going to proceed with our other speakers. We do have a whole list of speakers. So Rusaila, go ahead, finish your thoughts, your experience, please, your personal experience, and thank you for being here.
You're welcome. So today I want to tell you what it's like to be a child living in Gaza. In Gaza, children do not have a normal childhood. We grow up with bumps, fear, and loss. We see things no child should ever see. Today, I want to share a part of my experience and what happened to me during the ongoing genocide. We lived in the north of Gaza. I will never forget of the day of the October 9th, 2023. The Israeli army had ordered us to leave our home. I was very afraid because I knew my home could be bombed at any moment. My father was out trying to get food for us. I held my little sister Zena in my arms. She was only 3 years old, and we left everything behind. I wish I had time to grab my clothes or anything, but I had no time. I didn't even wear any shoes. That was the start of our journey. My family of 6 people kept moving from place to place, looking for safety. But in this genocide, there is no safe place for anyone. In one of the places where we stayed, there were more than 15 people in a small room. I was always afraid that we would be bombed while moving. I was scared of losing people I love. But actually, I lost. I lost so many friends. Selma, Jana, Misk, Sarah, and Basma. Every one of them had a dream and a family. Many children in Gaza lost their lives, or their families, or they lost parts of their bodies. I saw so many terrible things in this war, like the man who had lost his head from the force fan explosion, and his blood was on the wall. I was so afraid. I thought about his children. How did they feel when they saw their father's body without a head? I can't forget the sounds of the rockets falling, and then hearing the explosion and seeing the smoke everywhere. I will never forget those terrible things I experienced, and my people in Gaza are still living it. One day, I woke up and I realized that everything around me was white. The smoke and the smell of the chemicals were everywhere. I didn't understand what was happening. Later, I learned it. It was from the phosphorus gas. I wanted to leave as quickly as I could. We were unable to sleep because the sound of the drones everywhere, day, night. We had very little to eat, just a few cans. And finding a clean water was hard. My brother Mazen, who was 7 years old, had to walk every day with my father to get water. They waited in line for hours just to bring back 1 or 2 gallons. And it's not even a clean water, like we find bugs on it, but we have to drink it because we don't have any choices. One day in Khan Yunis, an Israeli attack was so strong that the boy was thrown in the air and smashed into our door. He was covered in blood. My father rushed him to the emergency room, and I recorded that boy when he was covered in blood, and I have video for him. After that, I'm going to share it with you guys. And we kept moving. We couldn't find a place to stay. We were lucky to finally find a place in eastern Rafah. People were living and sleeping in the street. I saw a lot of children in the streets in the cold winter without homes, without families. The Israeli occupation had destroyed their homes and killed their families. The hospitals in Gaza are not really like a normal hospitals. Blood was everywhere, bodies were everywhere, and there weren't even enough beds for the wounded. Even now, even in this moment, nothing has changed. Even all after the whole horror experienced by people, especially those who sought refuge in the hospitals, nothing has changed. I miss my school, my friends, and Gaza. When I talk to my friends who are still in Gaza, they tell me I slept hungry today. I slept hungry today, and we can't find anything to eat, Rusaila. And today, they told me that I hope to die. I hope to die. A child with a 16 years old hope to die. So that's our word today. I feel sorry for them. I wish I could do anything for them. I wish I could end this suffering. I wish I could end this genocide. Every child should have the right to live in safety, to eat food, to drink clean water, to go to school, and to be healthy. and to grow up with their loving family. But the children of Gaza do not have these rights. Instead, they live in fear, they sleep hungry, they search for water, their schools are destroyed, their hospitals are bombed, and many have lost their parents forever. Their childhood is not only being stolen, it's being destroyed before their eyes. My friends and my family in Gaza are not asking for much. They just need food, medicine, and they need education. But before all of that, they want to stay alive. Those are simple rights for them. So please, 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 don't forget the children of Gaza. Don't let the world stay silent, where they are starving, suffering, and dying. Keep talking about us, because our voices are being buried under the rubble.
Rusaila, how old are you?
I'm going to be 16 next year.
What grade are you?
11.
What is your message to the children of Canada, United States, and the children all over the world, your age? What's your message to the children of the world, please? What do you want the children to know or to do?
Just thanks God that you have those simple rights that, like, the children of Canada and the world had to go to school. But the children of Gaza, they hope to go to school.
Why does the children of Gaza are being attacked and they don't have the right to go to school? Did they commit any crimes? Did you commit any crimes, Rusaila?
No,
Do you deserve, you or your friends whom you lost, all the children in Gaza, do they deserve anything that's been visited upon them?
of course not. Because if children like 16 years old, what they're going to do? They're going to kill anybody? Of course not.
So your message to the children here in the West, people who are like you, is to tell their parents, their schools, their teachers, that children should never be a target. Children
Yeah.
never deserve this. No child in the world deserves to be killed or murdered or amputated or terrified or displaced, because children, by definition, are innocent people. They did not commit any crime. They do not deserve what is happening to them in Gaza. So I'll give you the last thing. If you want to say anything again to the children, to the mothers, to the fathers, to the teachers, to the educational system in the West, in Canada, all over the world, what you, as the children of Gaza, what's your basic ask from them?
They are humans, same as us. They simply need to study. They simply eat, like, want to eat clean food, a good food, a healthy food, like the food that is only in Gaza. There is no protein, nothing. It just cans of food. Like, when I get out of Gaza, first time that, like, ما بعرف كيف احكيها بالعربي بس انه بالانجلش.
احكي بالعربي، احكي بالعربي، احكي
بالعربي احكي بالعربي، مو مشكلة.
اول ما طلعت من غزة حرفيا رحنا على مطعم، ومن كتر ما انا انه كنت هيك زمان مش ماكله الدجاج او اللحمه، انه خبطت حالي، قعدت اخبط في حالي لحتى الان بابا قاعد بيمسكها علي، انه كمية الحرمان، انه احنا شو سوينا عشان نلاقي هيك اشي؟ احنا شو سوينا؟ يعني اختي الصغيرة تصير تعيط بالليل بس عشان بدها قطعة شوكولاتة وبسكوت، واحنا مش لاقيينها. يعني احنا شو الاشي كثير الخطر ان نحرم من هاي الاشياء.
Maisa, do you want to translate what she said, please?
Yeah. Habibti Rusaila, thank you for sharing this. I know it's really hard. When Rusaila left, when she was finally evacuated with her family, the moment she was able to actually eat meat, it was almost like a traumatic experience. She was literally like, shaking her head because she couldn't believe that she was prevented from experiencing something as simple as eating meat or protein for so many months. Her 3-year-old sister would cry at night asking for candy something every child in this world asks for, and it's easily accessible, but in Gaza, there is none. Rosaila, I know you said to me before we started that you want to hopefully become a nurse. Why do you want to become a nurse, Habibti? And you are a Doctors Against Genocide, leader because you believe in healthcare. So why nursing?
Because I want to help my people and all the people around the world with suffering. Because now, like, I can't do anything for them, but maybe 5 years later, I can do.
Habibti.
Yeah.
Inshallah, all of us will go to Gaza and we rebuild it together.
Yeah.
And inshallah,
Allah
you
يحفظك.
will fulfill your dream.
Yeah.
You'll be an amazing nurse, an amazing healthcare worker. Inshallah.
So, Rusaila, I mean, thank God you're one of the lucky ones that managed to make it out of Gaza. There are still more than 1 million child in Gaza who are going through the horrific
Yeah.
experience that Rusaila described. Rusaila, you're in Canada now. You are safe.
Yeah.
Feel normal. Do you sleep normal at night? Do you get visions? Do you get backlashes of what happened or
We
not?
still, like, when we hear the airplanes here, we still like remember the moments or thinking about the bombs and if it's going to be explosion next to the airplanes camp. I don't know. Especially in Egypt and Canada, like when I hear the airplanes, everything, all the memories come around me, and
Do you still have friends? Do you still have friends in Gaza? Are you worried about their safety, about them?
yeah, I have friends in Gaza.
We're sorry, Rusaila, that you and all the children of Gaza like you are going through this. You are going through this because we failed. We, the adults here, the adults all over the world, we failed you. We failed the children in Gaza. We failed the children all over the world. And honestly, it's not just the people, the children of Gaza who are going through this. Every child in the world are seeing pictures of children blown to pieces, children who are starved to death, children who are living on the streets. That's a
Yeah.
traumatic experience for any child in the world. We, the grown-ups, whether we like it or not, our children, all of them, are suffering from this mental agony that childhood. I mean, they were born into this world thinking that this world is safe. At least the children will be protected. Every child, every human being in the world actually lost that innocence, this feeling that as a child you are protected. We are all going through a mental illness, PTSD, as continuous trauma because of what we are seeing, especially the children. How do we expect our children to grow up seeing all these images, feeling that children like them can be killed anytime, and knowing that they can be next? It's because our leaders, especially in the West, and of course the genocidal Israeli regime or entity or ideology, is destroying the basic human principles and decencies that we know as humanity. So thank you, Rusala, for being with us. Please come every week. And you are already a nurse, a human being, a child against genocide. We're proud of you. We failed you, but we promise we will try better. We will keep trying until every child everywhere in Gaza, in Palestine, in Sudan, in Congo, in Rohingya, in the United States, in Mexico is safe and free, and that the maximum of their worries is what is the next toy they're going to buy, and what's the next trip they're going to go to, and what school is best for them, not to worry about being killed or being displaced or being starved to death. But we have a long list of speakers. Again, Rusaila, please come and be here with us every week. We want to hear from you. I want to catch Mr. Aguilar before he goes on the plane because he has a flight to catch. We want to hear from him before he goes. Lieutenant Colonel, retired Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Aguilar, we're proud of you. Thank you for being here. As Americans, we're proud of you. We're proud of your service. You are the example of the true human being, the true American that we want for America to be. We are not proud of the Americans, the leaders, the politicians who are committing these crimes in our name without our consent. So before you go, I know you are in a hurry, so please, Anthony, we want to hear from you. And thank you for joining us last week on in DC on the Hill. Your impact was great. And please, I know you're trying to go everywhere, do everything, and I know it's tough, and you are doing it. And from what I heard, you never turn down any opportunity to speak the truth, to speak up against this, genocide, and be the voice of the voiceless. Thank you, Anthony.
Thank you. Joining the Doctors Against Genocide team on the Hill yesterday last week was an honor. I think we got a lot of people to hear us. I don't know if they listened. I hope that from what we had to say to them and what they will see in the coming days, that's coming out of the news and in front of all of our eyes, that the things that we said to them in their offices will start to resonate with them, and they will start to listen. I know some are, and it's a matter of time, but we don't have a lot of time. I got to head out here in about 7 minutes, so I wanted to make this very direct. And the operations that are ongoing in Gaza right now on behalf of the Israeli government and the Israeli Defense Forces, or the IDF, this is not an accident. This is not an adjustment to the conflict or an adjustment to operations. This has always been the plan. This has always been the plan, to continue the assault into northern Gaza. Operation Gideon's Chariots in central Gaza that happened between March and April through recently, and then here with the commencement of Operation Gideon's Chariots 2 in the north to clear Gaza, with the additional call up of 60,000 additional IDF to reinforce the offensive to clear from the north. Everybody being moved to the south, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation already having the money in place before the offensive to build this 2.7 kilometer concentration camp in the south. This is not an adjustment or an accident or the way the war or the conflict is developing. This is not a war. This is a genocide. And this is the plan. They planned on this. Listen to what the Israeli government, listen to what Milikowski said yesterday when he was talking to all of his nation, telling them that this was planned and that all of Palestine will be theirs and that no one will remain alive. Wake up, America. This is not, they're not even hiding it. They're not even hiding it. The schools being bombed, the apartments being bombed, the municipal buildings being bombed. We see it every day on the news. They're not even hiding it. Despite having targeted and killed reporters in Gaza, the word is still getting out and the Western world is seeing it. And we are standing by thinking that this will magically end on its own. It's not. The way it's going to end is with a genocide, because we're standing by and we're allowing it to happen. American bombs, American tax dollars. This can end with a phone call. One phone call can end this. And that one phone call won't fix the whole problem. One phone call won't fix all of the things that we have to address going forward with how do we go forward with all of this. But one phone call can end this genocide, because right now they're doing it because we let them. Our American government, our lawmakers that we spend our tax dollars to put into office, with our tax dollars that go to fund this war and this genocide, and directly to the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation that are agents of the genocide. We are a part of it. You are a part of it, America. You, me, all of us, and the world standing by and watching it. We are not innocent bystanders. We are part of it. And when history looks back, we will all say that this was wrong. And if we don't do anything about it now, we will not have time. Time is running out. Look, every day, every single day. Last week, the report from the IDF that 83% of the casualties that are occurring in Gaza are are civilians. Last week, the report that came out that the actual real number of casualties is probably up north of 400,000. I said that 2 weeks ago. I have been there. I have seen it. I have seen the operational plans. The death toll by the time the operations in the north are complete and everybody is moved to the south will be close to 600,000 or 700,000. There will only be 1.5 million or less Palestinians remaining in Gaza, and they will die from disease and famine and starvation and continued killing in the south. That is the plan. That is the plan. And if you don't think that Israel is dead set on executing that plan, wake up, because it is happening and we are running out of time. Tomorrow I'll be in New York City. I'll be talking on a panel for the United Nations with 377 Alpha for Uniting for Peace. This gives the opportunity for nations within the United Nations to stand up or override a United States veto. And rest assured, have no doubt, Israel relies on the US's veto power in the United Nations. They pay for that. All of this money that AIPAC pays to our politicians, the ones that I've even talked to, they are complicit in this. They have been compromised. We have American lawmakers that have been compromised because of money. Make it clear to you that because of money. And don't think for a second that that UN veto power that we have, that the United States throws on the table at every opportunity to protect Israel or to defend against Israel's crimes against humanity, isn't bought. That's where we are right now, America. We are bought. We are paid for, and we are standing by and allowing a genocide to happen. And anybody that thinks that this might continue, or that you're worried about what might happen, put your worry aside. This is guaranteed. This is guaranteed to happen if we do not do something about it. Mark my words. Please listen to what I'm saying. This is not something that's just going to resolve itself. It's going to get worse by the day. It's going to get worse by the week. Everything that we've seen that's happening in Gaza City right now, with the leveling of buildings and municipalities and encampments being destroyed and people being moved to the south, this was always part of the plan. This is not something that just happened. This was the plan from the beginning. So to think that it's not going to continue, or that somehow it's going to stop because Israel meets some kind of military objective, you're wrong. Israel has no military objective. There is no military objective to this war. It is not a war. There is no political objective. Israel has directly targeted and tried to wipe out the negotiations team in Qatar. There is no political end state. There is no military objective. Israel intends to wipe out the entire population of Gaza, take it all, move on to the West Bank, and enact their plan. It is happening, and it is happening before our eyes. And if we think for a second that that's not the case, shame on us, because we only have ourselves to blame.
Anthony, before you go, I know you don't have too much time. So, United States and the politicians are not just complicit in this genocide. We are full partners. The United States is full partner in this genocide, and that is never the right thing to do. But even assuming that our politicians have our best interest in mind, as a career, long-term career Army officer and proud American, do you see any strategic American interest for being full partners and complicit in this genocide? Let's assume our politicians know something we don't know. Do you see any interest for the American people or for America as a country, as a superpower going forward on the strategic level? Any justification for being part of this?
No, there is no justification. There is no strategic, operational, regional, geopolitical, or long-term goal or benefit for the United States. Rest assured, America, every American citizen out there, we are complicit in this because our politicians are compromised, either through money or religious ideology. Huckabee, our ambassador, is a Christian Zionist. Come on, wake up. Our politicians and the people that we put in charge, not all of them. There are some that are standing up and are trying, and we need to back them up. Van Hollen and Merkelly and the others, we need to back them up in calling this a genocide. Marjorie Taylor Greene calling this a genocide. We need to back them up with the full power of the people. There is no benefit to the United States in this. There is no benefit in the region. There is no benefit to our security. There's no benefit to our long-term prosperity as a nation. This is benefiting people that are lining their pockets. And if you don't think that this is not about money, I am sorry to be the one to tell you. It is about money.
Is this a treason to the American people?
For those lawmakers that are involved, that are fully complicit in knowing what is going on and what we are funding, absolutely. Absolutely. They are traitors to our Constitution, to our country, to our people, to our citizenry, to our nation, to our security, to our standing in the world. Believe me, America, this will not put the United States in a position of prosperity on the world. It will put us at risk. Everywhere you go as an American, you will be at risk because of how the world is looking at us, standing side and side with this genocide. There is no political objective. There is no military objective. There is nothing good that will come of this except to the benefit of rich people that are trying to get richer, or religious zealots who have a religious ideology to enact at our cost. That's not American values. That is not what America stands on. That is not what America tolerates. Don't tolerate it. And if you think for a second it's anything different, wake up. Benjamin Milikowski, yesterday, when he was talking to his constituents, said it clearly. All of Palestine will be ours. He said it. I'm not making that up. That's not putting words into his mouth. He said it. He is telling us clearly. He is telling us and rubbing it in our face as an American society that we don't stand for peace or freedom, or to free the oppressed, or to feed people, or to stop women and children from being killed. Babies are being murdered, and we are the hands on the trigger. We must stop it. We must, or history will judge, and the United States will not come out of this in a prosperous position. So to all of those politicians out there that are putting our security and our country and our freedom and our reputation and our democracy at risk, shame on you, and stand up against it, America, because if you don't, it will happen.
Thank you, Anthony, for being a real hero, real patriot who cares about his country. And thank you for exposing those politicians who are betraying any human, national, or constitutional obligation for them toward their people. They are putting all of us, they are putting the country, the United States, and all its people on the wrong side of history. They are mass slaughtering innocent victims and children in other countries in our name, with our tax money, on our watch, without our consent. They are doing this country and its people, the good people of America, that we know more than 80% of them have been against this from day one. They are putting all of us on the wrong side of history. And this will not just only have moral ramifications down the road. This will have strategic, economic, every time of negative impact on this country and its people. And to make it worse, those complicit and compromised politicians are doing it for their own benefits, or because they have Epstein files on them, or because religious illusions and delusions, anti-human religious beliefs that insist that the Messiah, the Christ, the Savior of humanity, refuses to come back until we commit genocide against the people of Palestine. Imagine this. They are portraying Jesus, the one who sacrificed his life for the people, for humanity, for love. They are portraying him that he is making a condition that he will not come back until we commit a genocide against innocent people. They are actually the ones who are antichrist and making Christ himself looks bad. So I think we lost Anthony because he's going to New York. Thank you for his service. We really appreciate it. Farhad, if you are here, Farhad, Dr. Farhad, are you
Yes, I'm
there?
here.
Yes, Farhad, if you please, if you want to introduce your guest, Nath, and thank you for your.
Yes, definitely. I just quickly before I introduce our speaker, I just wanted to send my sincere condolences to Mesa and Rama on the passing away of their dad, and also my condolences to all of you who have lost people in this horrible genocide. In addition, I shout out to Rosela and Anthony for their bravery. These are very inspiring people to me and all of us. We really wish them all the best in their crusade against this horrible genocide. I just want to now pivot to our guest from South Africa. This is where I have the honor to introduce Mr. Nathi Ngubane, who's a fellow South African. He's a writer and illustrator who grew up in a area called Chesterville, which is a small township outside our city. We live in the same city, different areas. He holds a diploma in graphic design from the Durban University of Technology and has worked as a political cartoonist for a few different media outlets, including the Daily Vox and the Citizen News. And in 2018, he decided to shift his focus to his brand, which is called Think Ahead Comics. He has some publications prior to the current one that we are talking about today, in the series called Juma Says, which was in part centered around the COVID epidemic in 2020. In February 2024, Nathi released a children's coloring book titled From the River to the Sea as an interactive educational book that provides a gateway into the story of Palestine. His work has been featured on different media outlets, including Al Jazeera, AJ Plus, BBC, The Daily Maverick, Newsframe, Ground Up, Mail and Guardian, amongst others. So it gives me great pleasure and it's an honor for me to introduce Nathi. I think Nathi has a visual presentation, but I'm going to let him take over. And again, thank you. We welcome you and we look forward to your presentation. Thank you, Nathi.
Thank you, Farad. Just before I start, could you please allow Farad Nati screen share on the list, as I'll be sharing my screen using my computer and the audio using my phone, please. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone in attendance. Thank you, Farad, for your introduction. My name is Nati Ngubane. I am an illustrator, a political cartoon, and an author from South Africa. And, just hearing from Rosela, my heart completely breaks for the children of Gaza. And I just want to say before I start that as being a South African and knowing where we come from in our history with apartheid, as a South African, I just want the people of Gaza to know that we see you, we hear you, we haven't forgotten you. Even though our world leaders have forgotten you, we haven't forgotten you as South Africans. And I grew up in a small township called Chesterville, and I grew up in cramped housing. And cramped housing in South Africa is a result from the apartheid legacy that left us in 1994, and it's still present today, as we can see the high unemployment rate in South Africa. So growing up in Chesterville, it was pretty tough. We didn't have any running water. We barely had electricity. So when you think about South Africa and when you think about Chesterville, you can really see it in refugee camps like Khan Yunis. And, our struggles with the Palestinians are universal. I mean, as Malcolm X said, that our struggles are all interconnected. So being a South African, I know too well the struggles of what Palestinians are going through. And, I'm a visual artist. I took on drawing from a very, very young age, and I'm very, very fortunate that I've had a family that has supported my career, even though I had other family members telling me to be a doctor or to be a journalist or to be a teacher, but I just chose to be a visual artist. And from a very young age, I've always wanted to make a difference through the work that I do. And I'll be so, so happy today to be sharing my screen with you. I have prepared a presentation I'll be talking about my journey as a cartoonist, and I have two coloring books out on Palestine, and I would love to be talking to you about it today. Let me just share my screen using my computer. Sorry, Farad, could you allow Nati screen share to be able to share the screen as I'm using my computer?
I think Nidal, do you have control?
To do what?
I have control. You can share your screen.
You can share, yeah.
Yes, there's an account called Nati Screen Share. That is my, because I'm connected to two devices,
Oh,
my
okay.
phone and my computer. So there's Nati Screen Share that's on the list. I'm not sure if you can.
Oh, is the other person a participant? Sorry, what's it called? What's the name?
Nati Screen Share. It should say Nati Screen Share.
Oh, Nati
Maybe that's
screen
not a.
share. Okay, I'm gonna bring Nati as a panelist.
Okay, thank you.
Now you can share your screen
For
once you
another
accept.
time. All right. Great, thank you. All right, I'm just gonna share my screen. All right, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
I can.
Okay, perfect. So just to get started, I am a part of a media collective called Social Bandit Media. And our aim really is always we always look to make sense of the world by publishing educational material for kids. And our work really is an intervention, so to speak. And we always focus on making accessible and cost-effective material to educate and inspire a new generation. And our project at the core are community efforts involving activists and journalists and creative workers who band together to make these projects come to life. And we have people in my team, we have people who do research and secure funds and edit our books and help spread the word, and bringing people to events or helping the book move into other sectors. So whenever we create this learning material, we always make sure that a lot of research is done. We're not just making any stuff up. And these are just a few examples of some published works that we've done. We started in 2019 with a graphic novel that touches on the history of apartheid in South Africa. During COVID, we spoke about how kids can stay safe, and we focused on kids that are living in cramped housing and disadvantaged and coming from disadvantaged backgrounds. And that came to life in a form of a storybook called Duma Says. The first one was a collector's edition, so it has 3 stories. And then the last one was Duma Says Your ABCs to Good Health, talking about COVID. And then, of course, we have From the River to the Sea that we released last year. And then we have Malcolm X in Gaza, which we have recently released. But also, I'm also a part of another initiative called Ubuntuns. So it's actually short for Ubuntu Cartoons. And these are the work that I do with Daily Maverick. And our aim really is always creating cartoons that have the potential for greater societal impact. And our cartoons always raise awareness of human rights violations, inequality, the climate crisis, and gender inequality. These are some examples of the cartoons that I've done for Daily Maverick. I've recently touched on the World Health Day that happened a few months ago, Child Protection Week, and of course, the issue of mass shootings in South Africa. And I also do cartoons on Gaza and Palestine for the Daily Maverick. And this cartoon really was the first cartoon that I touched on in a long time about Gaza and Palestine. The first one that I've ever done in my career dates back in 2014 when I was working for the Daily Vox. And this one here for the Daily Maverick, my first ever cartoon, was right after October 7th. And the first thing I noticed when creating this cartoon was the parallels between South Africa's apartheid and Israel's present day policies, which actually it's deja vu from my opinion. But we have seen the genocide that is happening in Gaza, that it is 10 times worse than the apartheid system that South Africans went through. Here, this cartoon, the second comic that I've done, right after the South African lawyers approached the ICJ with the case of genocide against the Israeli government. And in this comic, really, I wanted to show that, first of all, never again is now. It's happening, uh, you know, it's applying to now. We are now allowing a genocide to happen with the people of Palestine. And this cartoon actually got me in quite a lot of trouble with Zionists in South Africa. And a lot of them were actually writing letters to my editor and asking for me to be fired and let go from my post. But fortunately for me, the Daily Maverick supported me, and I still have a job with them. So, which means my work continues. This is the latest cartoon that I've done for Daily Maverick on Gaza. And here, I wanted to challenge Benjamin Netanyahu's claim that there is no starvation or policy of starvation in Gaza. I mean, come on, we can all see it. There is a policy of starvation. And I wanted to show in this cartoon to draw a big bow of bullets, because this is what the Israeli government and the IDF is serving the people of Gaza and continues to serve the people of Gaza. And here, I wanted to just highlight the plight of Palestinian starving healthcare workers and journalists. And hence, I drew everybody quite malnourished and very thin. And of course, the very popular image or viral image of Palestinians just lifting their pots, starving and wanting something to eat. And right after the comic that I spoke about Never Again Is Now, my publisher and I, Social Bandit Media, my team, we needed to capture this moment. So the first thing we had in mind was we wanted to continue to educate kids about the world around them and make the world make sense in a way, and also just plant a seed of empathy to the young minds. And this came in a form of a coloring book called From the River to the Sea. And this is basically a gateway into Palestine. We talk about the land of Palestine and the coexistence before the Israeli state was formed. We talk about the occupation. We talk about the Nakba. We talk about the literary icons like Edward Said and Hassan Kanafani. We talk about activists like Ahed Tamimi. We talk about leaders like Nelson Mandela and what he said when he was alive about the Palestinian cause. And this book really, I'm going to get onto the next slide, which is the backlash that we received. And of course, the South African Jewish Board of Deputies saw the book. And the first thing they had to say about this coloring book that aimed to educate kids about Palestine, a true story, which we did extensive research on, they go on to say that this book aimed to indoctrinate children, which I found very ridiculous because, as far as I know, the Zionists are the ones that indoctrinate children. In fact, they train children, South African kids, to go in and serve in the IDF and kill Palestinian kids. Yet they say our book aimed to indoctrinate children. I mean, that was really ridiculous from the Jewish Board of Deputies. But after they put out their statement, we then had a second issue with exclusive books in South Africa. So exclusive books is basically the biggest book chain in South Africa. And of course, Zionists, after they saw the Jewish Board of Deputies statement, they flooded exclusive books and they complained about this hateful book called From the River to the Sea, which teaches kids to hate Jews, which is really ridiculous. So these are some of the news articles that came out during that time, last year in June 2024.
Nat,
And then
Nath, am I saying your name
yes,
right? Is it Nath or Nath?
Nati.
Nati. Can you go
Yes,
back to the slide where the Jewish Board of South Africa, please?
yes.
Yes. So
Here
this
we go.
South African Jewish Board is attacking you and attacking anyone who speaks against the genocide and the starvation.
Pretty
Did you
much.
ever hear from them a condemnation of the actual crime, which is the starvation and the mass slaughter of children and the genocide?
Oh, sorry, can you repeat the question? I was cutting a
So
bit.
the South African Jewish Board of Deputies, and for that matter, every Zionist organization in the world, are attacking you and attacking every voice who speaks out against the starvation and the genocide and the mass slaughter of children. They are attacking the voices that are exposing these crimes. Did they ever condemn the actual crimes? Did they ever condemn the famine, the starvation, the genocide?
No, not at all. In fact,
Oh,
they still state that Israel is their rightful home and Israel has the right to defend itself. And whenever we say from the river to the sea, Palestine will be free, they see it as hateful and anti-Semitic. I mean, it's a very tired accusation from the Jewish Board of Deputies. And not once have they condemned Netanyahu and his evil regime about what they are currently doing with the Palestinian kids. I mean, they've been breaking ceasefire left, right, and center. Yet the Jewish Board of Deputies remains silent on all of that. They continue to gaslight the world and they continue to cry victimhood. And as soon as you post something that is pro-Palestine, they will say simply October 7th. Simply October 7th. Like,
oh,
do you have any other arguments really? So it's very infuriating. So they haven't condemned what
yes.
the Israeli government has been doing.
Let this go on record that all these organizations that are attacking the messenger, whoever the messenger is, if it's Nate or anyone who speaks against these crimes that the Israeli government, backed by the United States, are committed. They are doing this as a distraction to silence the voices that are exposing these crimes, a distraction, and they themselves never condemned the actual crimes because it could have been much easier for them, for us, for the whole world if they condemned the perpetrators of these crimes and stop these crimes, so no one needs to be speaking, up against them. So that's very important. We need to call them out that they are going against the messengers, and at the same time they are ignoring and they never condemn the actual crimes and those who are committing them. Thank you. Go ahead, Neil. Sorry for the interruption.
Thank you. Just to also put a point across, they've also last year put out a statement criticizing the South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa, for using the term from the river to the sea. And they were saying that it's a call to annihilate Israel. I mean, it's really ridiculous what the Jewish Board of Deputies are doing. So after the Jewish Board of Deputies put out the Facebook statement, Zionist went after exclusive books, and they pointed out that this coloring book is calling for the genocide of the Jewish people, and it should be removed from the shelves. So exclusive books, I guess they bowed down to the pressure and they removed the book from the shelf. But that was met with a lot of backlash from pro-Palestinian groups in South Africa, which protested inside of exclusive books, which actually started in Cape Town, the first protest outside of an exclusive books. And of course, it went on for a whole week, and there were just messages of support for the work that we've been doing from parents and teachers and pro-Palestinian organizations to the point where exclusive books could not remain silent, and they had to put out a statement. And just to skim through, one of their point was, we do not censor or approve books. That was one of the things that really stood out for me when I saw the statement. And then after the statement, the CEO of Exclusive Books had an interview with one of South Africa's newspapers, and he basically said that after carefully reviewing the content of this book, we found it not to be offensive, and so it now went back into the shelves. So, as a cartoonist and as a visual artist, I had to respond with a cartoon by, contradicting exclusive books, contradicting themselves, basically saying, here at exclusive books, we do not censor or approve books. We check if they are offensive before they are going onto our shelves. So the joke really wrote itself. I didn't have to think hard about that. So I saw this way as an appropriate way for me as a cartoonist to respond to the ridiculousness of exclusive books. I mean, we live in a democratic South Africa. We have a right of freedom of speech, freedom of expression. And at that time, when this was happening last year, I felt that my rights were being trampled upon. And South Africa, we aim to protect the rights of our citizens, whether we agree with the content or we disagree with the content. But whether you disagree or agree, our content goes through a lot of research. So everything that we do, we make sure that it's factual. And we always consult with anti-Zionist Jewish scholars, which I always tell Zionists whenever they attack me, when I care to respond, I always tell them that, yes, we consulted with anti-Zionist Jewish scholars, but we didn't consult with Zionists. Backlash number 2 happened at the beginning of this year. I'm sure we are all familiar with the educational bookstore that was raided by the Israeli police in East Jerusalem, and they confiscated rather a number of Palestinian books, and one of those books was our coloring book, From the River to the Sea. And here is a Twitter post by the Israeli police, basically saying why the confiscation was necessary. Because apparently we are pushing Hamas propaganda, and our book carries hate and violence. And mind you, they haven't even opened the book. They just see the cover and they conclude that it's a hateful material that poison kids. Backlash number 3 is the recent one that happened in France. A right-wing TV station had been harassing one of Paris's most celebrated bookstore called Violet & Co. And they've been harassing and cyberbullying the shop and intimidating them just because they stock our coloring book called From the River to the Sea. And we had to put out a statement as Social Bandit Media to really condemn this right-wing news media from France. And what really struck me at that time, and it still baffles me to this day, is that a children's book is found to be offensive while we have a genocide that is happening in real time, which is largely supported. There is no silence, there's no noise about the genocide, about the starving children of Gaza. There's absolutely no noise about that. Yet, you see a coloring book that aims to educate kids about Palestine to be offensive. I mean, it's completely ridiculous. So, what now? So, we have a new book that we've launched recently called Malcolm X in Gaza, and we want to continue the conversation on Palestine because, the genocide is still continuing. And this book rather explores Malcolm's very little known trip to the Middle East and Africa in the 1960s. And we wanted to really try and reimagine what Malcolm could have seen, because Malcolm, first of all, he was a revolutionary, he was a great man. And we wanted to celebrate 100 years of Malcolm X, since Malcolm X was born, by really celebrating his life by touching on the trips that he went through, and he spent time in Gaza, 2 days in Gaza actually, with poets and politicians, and he visited Khan Yunis, and we had to try and reimagine and try and see what he could have seen in the Palestinian market. And the most difficult image is the one on the left that I had to really revise with my team. This is the Khan Yunis refugee camp. And since there are no records and there are no photographs of Malcolm X in Khan Yunis, I had to use my artistic license to um, to try and see what Malcolm, try and envision what Malcolm could have seen rather. So that is our newest book. We wanted, to teach kids empathy and to show kids a Gaza before the destruction, before the genocide. And we want kids to know that, Palestine is a place that exists with its own people and culture, flora and fauna. And the best way, really, for me as a visual artist to continue to talk about Palestine is to continue with these educational coloring book that go through a lot of research before it gets published. And with that said, I just want to say that the great Nelson Mandela, our first democratic president of South Africa, once said that our freedom is incomplete without the freedom of Palestinians. And he said it rightfully so. None of us are free until Palestine is free. Thank you.
Thank you, Nati. Thank you. This is very powerful. We, as Palestinian, really thank you for this. Appreciate your work. Appreciate your true solidarity. And as you said, no one of us is free until we are all free, not just the Palestinians. And you said also it's all interconnected. The systems of oppression, apartheid, genocide, wars, war profiteers are the same ones that are exploiting all of us, whether we are in Palestine or in Africa or in the United States or in Rohingya. So none of us is free until all of us are free. None of us is safe until all of us are safe. None of our children has a future until we all have the same future. It's all one humanity. We're all interconnected. And again, the struggle is this time, it's not between black and white, not Palestinian American, not Palestinian, Muslim, Jewish, Christian. The struggle is the top 1% who are benefiting from all of this, exploiting the whole world, versus we, the people, all of us. That's why we all need to unite, learn from each other, support each other. It is our existence and it's our future is at stake wherever we are. They started or they're starting with the Palestinians, but we know they are coming here at home. The fascism that is happening here in the United States, the genocides in Africa, the exploitation of resources, all these things, it's all the same. That's why we really appreciate you, Nate. Let's stay in touch. We need to connect. We are in full support of your work. Let's stay in touch. We would love to hear again from you about updates about your work. Please share in the links in the chat about any links for support of your book. We're happy to support. And for the sake of time, sorry, we have to move. Well, I want to hear from Elvis because Elvis, thank you for your patience, Elvis. We want to hear any updates about what's happening in Rohingya because, again, as we said, it's all connected. It's all one humanity. The children are all ours. Who said this? This was the African American big writer. The children,
Baldwin, James Baldwin.
yes, the children are all ours. Go ahead, Karam.
Yeah, I want to correct you. Elvis will talk to us about Congo.
Oh,
You said
Congo.
Rohingya.
Oh, sorry, Congo. Yeah, of course. Yes. But again, I want Elvis to talk about Rohingya. Every single word that Elvis is going to say about Congo applies to Rohingya, applies to Palestine, applies to South Africa. But yeah, thank you, Karam.
Thank you very, very much. I don't know where to start. I was listening to Rosalia. Is it Rosalia? And yes, I've been it just brought me back to my personal experiences. Myself, I'm a war survivor. When this started, I saw my family walking miles. I saw people being killed. I was even put on a line of 5 boys, and they start shooting one by one. And I don't know how 2 of us escaped. That was in 1996. And I understand the struggle. Our struggle is the same. Children all over the world, they just need peace. We have to fight and end the genocide. The genocide is going. Some part of the world is a silent one where there is no media, there is no one who's sharing, there is no one who's talking about the numbers of people that we are losing every single day. And I think I'm gonna stay on that note and say we have to end the genocide. Since the last time I was invited to the panel, I can first say thanks to Dr. Against Genocide to allow us to be part of this amazing platform. And we are looking forward to continue working with you. Last week, I did tell you about the 2 houses that was raided by soldiers, and more than 50 women were raped. Among those women, there were a group of 3 to 6 years old girls. And all this week, we have been working with a local hospital to support them. It is a shame some of them did miss the 72 hours to go and get a kit. That is the very first problem that we have with local hospitals. And also, some of them don't have any kit at all. The women, at the moment, the support that we're giving to the women is we take them to the hospital, they get checked, and then we look for a center that cater for women who were raped, so they support them mentally because all of them need counseling. We are also housing them at the moment. We moved them, all of them. There were 83 families. We moved them away from the location where they were. And now the team is working to send back to their villages where they came from. The 83 families were displaced. They were living in those camps until the rebels came and asked them to leave, to vacate the displacement, the camps, but they stayed in town. We know we are sending back those families to villages that were bombed. There is nothing for them. Most of them used to do farming. And for years, for 3, 4, 5 years, those villages were bombed. There is nothing for them, no house, but we are sending them back. They are all saying it will be easy for them to die in their villages than dying in Goma. That is the very first update that we have. We are talking to all our friends and partners so that we can raise enough funds so that we can send them back to their villages. Another update that I can give to the team, the group agreed to help and support financially the young ladies aged between 13 and 18 that we are supporting were victims of sexual assault. One of them gave birth 2 days ago. She's 16. She gave birth to a healthy boy. We are very, very happy. At least it didn't take us too much complication to get to that point, because in the past we had so many problems because they're still young and they have to go through labor. So that is a good news. So we've got an addition.
Elvis,
They have.
Elvis, please. Sorry to interrupt you. For all our attendees, we just shared the links to support and donate to the victims of the genocide in Congo. These young women that Elvis is talking about them. So please be generous and support them. And Elvis is exactly talking about how much the need is there. So please, any support, any donation is helpful. Go ahead, Elvis. Sorry for the interruption.
Oh, thank you very much, Nita.
It's there in
So
the link there in the chat.
yeah, yes. Thank you very much. At the house, we've got 8 young girls and 9 babies, and the youngest is 13, and she already started to go to school, and we are now planning to add more because on our waiting list, we've got 22 left that we already assess their condition. So we are working hard to get them into the house so that they can get the support as the rest. The Congolese story may not be trending at the moment, and it is a shame because the mainstream media doesn't pay attention to what happened in Congo. But I can tell you, in the last 10 days, that's 2 days ago, 100 people, 101 people were killed. 2 days ago, 4 days ago, 50 people were killed at the funeral. Those are the things that are happening right now in the town that we are in the east of Congo. And the mainstream media is not talking about anything. Recently, the American government, I know most of you are in America, our president went to seek a deal with America to bring peace in exchange with the Congolese minerals. Now it's gone more than 2 months since they signed the deal, and we never ever see peace. We still have a lot of Congolese in displacement. Fighting are not stopping. Villages are emptied. We have people who are moving in numbers. In the region of South Kivu, it has been taken by, there were fight between another rebel group was fighting against the national army, and now the whole town is under control of a new rebel group. So in the east, we've got already 3 fractions led by 3 different groups, and no one is talking about that. Those are probably the updates that I have for you. We are still identifying the women, the young girls who are victims, and we are supporting them. We are working with about 30 hospitals, all based in Goma. But the main challenge that most of the women are facing at the moment, especially pregnant women, they are getting held in the hospital when they give birth and they can't pay the maternity bill. They are kept in hospital. So there is about, on the list, we've got 126 women that we identified in the last 4 days who have given birth, and they are in the hospital because they cannot afford $25 to pay for their maternity. So those are the situations that we are facing at the moment, and we are hoping with the initiative that we are starting and other avenues, we're going to be able to continue supporting those women, not only to pay their bill, but also to give them food, because most of the hospitals don't provide food for the displaced people who are patient at the hospitals. Thank you.
Thank you, Elvis. Thank you for sharing these updates. And I agree with you. The whole world is completely ignorant and silent about what's happening in Congo and even in Sudan. In Palestine, we're a little bit more lucky that there is more awareness, there is more media exposure, but unfortunately, the end result is the same because there is no action. That's why we need to work together. It is our honor our moral obligation, our duty to shed more light about these crimes that are happening in Congo, in Sudan, that are not getting the attention that they deserve. At the same time, also hold the world accountable for meaningful change, because all the media exposure or the empty and performative statements that the world is giving the Palestinians, the children of Gaza who are starving to death now, is not really changing anything on the ground. So we are all here as a collective is for a meaningful change everywhere. No child in the world should go through this, whether the media knows or doesn't know, whether the world knows or doesn't know. No child in the world deserves this fate and this suffering. And as you said, it's all being done for the benefit of the privilege. They are exploiting everything that's happening in Congo for their resources. They don't care about the people, they don't care about the children, about the victim. They want the resources. In Gaza and Palestine, they want the land. In Sudan, they want the resources. It's the same machine, the same structures that are killing all of us. And it is our obligation toward humanity, toward the children of the world, to dismantle all these structures everywhere and once for good, because we, the good people of the world, the people of conscience everywhere, deserve better. Deserve better. There is enough in the world for all of us to live in comfort and peace without going at each other, children, and killing them. And as you said, I think Congo is one of the richest countries in the world, and definitely in Africa. If it's left alone without the exploiters from all over the world, they don't need our charity. They don't need our help. They can provide for themselves. So anything, any help you can give to our people in Congo is the smallest down payment we as the Western world can do to the victims. It's not a charity. It's not, we are not giving them something they don't deserve. We are paying a very small down payment for the crimes we are committing against them. They will not need the people in Gaza, in Congo, and Sudan, everywhere else. These are all rich nations, rich cultures, rich countries. They don't need our charity or our donation. If we get rid of the root causes of their suffering, they can provide for themselves. So we need to fix this. And thank you, Elvis, for being here with us. And please be with us every week. We need your updates. We need to hear from you. Please don't forget about the links for a donation to support the victims in Congo. We have them in the chat. And for the sake of time, again, we want to move with Dr. Muhammad Al-Hams. Sorry for the wait, Dr. Muhammad. We have a long list. Dr. Muhammad is an acute care physician. He's from UK, originally from Gaza. He works with PALMED. They have an important initiative for the Brussels Declaration. We want to hear and learn more about it and see how we can join forces and amplify this important call. And again, this is all about uniting all our forces, because none of us alone can do it. We have to all work together. Dr. Muhammad, thank you for your patience. It's all yours.
Thank you very much for the invite, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening for wherever you are. My name is Mohammed Al-Hams. I'm going to talk about PALMED Europe and the Brussels Declaration. Maybe I'll take about 7 minutes or so. So PALMED Europe is an organization in
Can you introduce yourself to, please, Dr. Muhammad?
Mohammed Al-Hams. I'm a consultant of youth medicine. I'm the head of PALMED UK and part of administration for PALMED Europe as the external relation officer. PALMED Europe is a charity registered in 9 European countries. It's established in 2008, and we, as a main purpose, to represent Palestinian doctors in Europe. Plus, we transfer knowledge and expertise to Palestine, where the main focus of our activity was training and building capacity, plus transferring knowledge and expertise. However, as a Palestinian, we always have to work in delegations and in relief. So we send regular missions to Gaza and to other parts of Palestine and to the refugee camps in Lebanon and even in Jordan. So and in 2002 we established Balmed Academy, which is mainly the education arm for Balmed, and they do projects regarding training for postgraduate. And since 2023, they took the initiative to teach medical students from Gaza for Al-Azhar and the Islamic University. And so far, they have achieved to graduate the first batch last year, and still the teaching going. So, what I'm going to speak today is the initiative we have declared or started in Brussels. We call for a meeting for medical professionals from all over Europe in the 30th of August in Brussels. And that was an event included one seminar from medical doctors who went to Gaza and to give their statements in front of European Parliament. And after that, we had a press conference with the media was present, and that was streamed live as well. And from that day, we have started the Brussels Declaration. Brussels Declaration is an for protection of healthcare in Gaza. It's a document which is based on a call for the humanity and a call for the all medical and healthcare workers all over the world to support this declaration, which is based on what the international law says and where it is and what happens in Gaza, and for our call for the humanity and for the organizations to do and to start action to protect the healthcare system. Dr. Nidal, please, if you could share the link so people could have a look at it, because sorry, I don't have a presentation for you.
I will share it. Just one sec.
Thank you. And we'd like all of you really to spread it, sign it as individuals and as organizations. And from that point, when it reached the target we're looking for, we're going to take it further to the International Criminal Court and also to the World Health Organizations and to the UN. So it's going to be a document really to put forward what happens, and it's going to be again a statement. So hopefully, with the large number signing this document, we can move forward and do some action, and our voice and really the voice of the healthcare workers in Palestine will be heard.
So, Dr. Muhammad, before you go further, so we have this petition. It's on change.org.
Yes.
Usually, the change.org has a very limited functionality. There is Action Network where we can do the petition on Action Network. It's easier to spread around. It's easier to get more petitions. Plus, if we do it as a letter campaign, everyone who signs the letter goes directly to the email of the decision maker that we are targeting. So if you want, I mean, we can talk about it after this, but if you are interested, we can help you with this. We do have the Action Network. We have Every Action. There are more powerful tools for this kind of petitions and letters that we are happy to offer for free for Palmed and also to join forces. But again, the decision is yours. I just wanted to bring this up before we forget.
Well, thank you very much for this offer. Yeah, I think we can discuss it for later on, because we chosen change.org for really as a protected site or for the confidentiality of the people. But I mean, if we can discuss that for afterward. So I'm not going to speak further about. So it's really the document itself. It's quite obvious, and the people won't read it. It's simple, and it was legally scrutinized. So it's no worries from signing it. You just need to spread the word. And if you have any question, I'm happy to answer it.
Can you tell us more about Palmid also, please? Beyond the Brussels, what other things do you do where we can work together? Or go
Yes,
ahead.
so Balmed is an organization. It's established in 2008. We have currently 9 branches, including in the UK, in France, in Germany, in Sweden, Denmark, and Ireland, and in Spain, plus Turkey. So it's an association representing the Palestinian doctors in Europe. The main focus or the main purpose is as a representative body for the Palestinian doctors and helping them to develop their career and do we do our scientific and our annual meeting. Plus, as a Palestinian, we have a duty to our land and our people. So we do send delegations mainly for educations, but since the war began or the attacks in Gaza began, so our focus mainly was in emergency medical teams. Now we're sending every month a medical team in Gaza. Plus we help in medications and supplies whenever possible to send that. The other thing is the Balmed Academy, which is established in 2002. And again, the focus was for postgraduate training and fellowships for the graduate or the after residency. But since the attacks in the medical schools, we took the initiative of launching the GEM scheme, Gaza Educate Medics, which is a scheme to protect and maintain the 2 main medical schools in Gaza. So they have their own platform for teaching for the theory. Plus, we organize with people who are still working in the hospitals to do the medical training and the bedside teaching. So far, over the last, I would say this project was launched formally in June 2024. And we have managed to get the first batch of students graduated in January from both universities. Also support the medical student who have displaced either to Egypt or Turkey or any other countries. So this is a quick summary about Balmed and Balmed Academy activities. We have our websites in Arabic and English and in other languages, so you can go there and see more information. So it will help you to understand and see some samples of the project we do.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad. Thank you. And yeah, we will discuss this more. Please support and sign the petition, the Brussels Declaration. Support the work of Palmed. We shared that in the chat. And inshallah, we'll have more collaboration and work with you, Dr. Muhammad. Thank you for being here. Thank you for presenting this important initiative to protect the healthcare. Actually, at one point, we were also trying to pass something here in the United States in the Congress for the absolute protection of healthcare everywhere else in the world. Of course, especially in Gaza and Palestine. The process is very slow, takes a long time, but we're still also thinking about it. It should go without saying. I mean, unfortunately, they are forcing us to demand things that should be common sense to protect the healers, to protect the healthcare workers who are providing for the victims, for the injured. But since they are putting us in this terrible situation, yes, we need to keep pushing them and reminding them to do their job and at least at minimum protect the children, the civilian, and the healthcare workers and the healthcare institutions. I think we are done with the main speakers for today. We need to maybe have a round feedback and reflections on what we heard today.
Vidal, I think Dr. Suyang wants to talk about the letter. campaign.
Yeah, actually, I'm gonna go. I was going to Dr. Swang, no matter. I mean, there is always something important with Dr. Swang. So, yes, Dr. Swang, all yours. You are muted. Yes,
Yeah,
go ahead.
okay, right. Thank you very much. I think this is a very emotional kind of webinar, because to hear Rosella, and the people from Gaza talking is really heartbreaking. And when my colleagues and I wrote this letter to President Trump, a lot of people laugh at us and say, no point, what for, they won't listen. So anyway, we went ahead, and I will really value your support. It might not change Trump, okay? To change Trump, it has to be an act of God. And we human beings is not able to change his heart. But what we can do is to change ourselves, to encourage each other, to make it known to the Palestinians and Gaza that we are doing everything we can to support them, even doing the impossible. So I really would like you to open the letter, and I think the link is going to put on. Just read the letter and agree to sign it and send it on. So next week is the anniversary of the 43rd year of the Sabra Shatila massacre. And every year, some of us will go and join the families of the survivors. So we'll take them along, and we'll print out the letter together with all your signatures, and we'll go to the US Embassy in Beirut and hand deliver it, and we'll invite the press to publicize this event, to know that a lot of people have petitioned the US Embassy to have the president do something about atrocities, because he has the power to stop it. Like what you said, it only takes one phone call. The very fact that he's not making the phone call says more than anything else. So hopefully next week, I will talk to you all from Beirut during your conference, or if I'm back early, I can join you. But I will also be making a speech to the survivors. So I pre-record it and send it to your conference. Thank you very much. Thanks for all the inspiring work you're doing, because the main thing is we must not give up hope, because it's such a bad time, and the last thing anybody should do is give up hope and feel helpless. I think together, each one will do something, and the road to a free Palestine is very long and painful. If we can move it forward an inch, we will do it. We can do no less, right?
Absolutely.
Much. Dr. Suyang, this letter can be signed by everyone?
Anybody, the more the merrier. It's written by the three of us who actually survived the massacre. We were lined up and we didn't die, but we want everybody to support what we wrote.
Okay.
Because it's crazy to send it up to President Trump that we only 3 signatures. That's not on. Yeah.
We should clarify that everyone can sign
Everyone,
it.
please, the more the better. Thank you very much.
So
you.
we already shared the chat.
Yes, I think we need to say that anyone can sign it.
Yeah. Anyone who cares about Gaza, about Palestine, about humanity, who has a conscience should sign.
Okay, we will circulate it widely.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Please sign the letter to President Trump that Dr. Swing and her colleagues are initiating. It's important. Everyone can sign. It's there in the chat. And thank you, Dr. Swing, for your bravery, for your long time advocacy for humanity, for justice everywhere. And it's very important what you're bringing up. It's the massacres of Sabra and Shatila that were committed by the Israeli army and their, Christian
Christian, yeah.
challenges that time with the protection of the Israeli army. And just a reminder that at that time, the American president was Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan, for the Republicans, they see him as their role model, their inspiration. He was not an angel by any means. He was also another war criminal like many others. But even Ronald Reagan at that time could not stay silent on the crimes that have been committed by Israel in Lebanon in the summer of 1982. And he actually wrote and called the Prime Minister of Israel at that time, Begin, to tell him, what I see is a Holocaust. You are committing a Holocaust on the children of Lebanon. And as Dr. Swee said, he ordered him with a phone call, stop it, and he stopped it now. All what it takes is just a one phone call from a brave president. And that was a Republican president. That was the role model of all Republicans, continue to be the role model of all Republicans. This is the president that Trump keeps, bringing up often and often, that he was his role model. So if President Trump, if Reagan was your role model, he was able to stop that war, that massacre, that Holocaust with one phone call, because he said, I cannot be part of committing a Holocaust. Why are you silent, President Trump? You came with a promise. You want to bring peace and end wars. That's why many people voted for you, and fix economy. Unfortunately, you are failing on all three accounts, both. The war is still going on, the genocide is still going on, there is no peace, and the economy is terrible. So please wake up. Whatever files they have against you, don't worry. We will forgive you for whatever files they have against you if you do the right thing. Stop the slaughter, protect the children. We don't want our country, we don't want the world, we don't want the American bombs, the American tax money to be complicit in mass slaughter of babies and mass starvation of babies. Please, President Trump, we are calling upon you because you are the only one who can stop it. Be the Reagan of our time. One phone call will stop this mass slaughter, this genocide, this live streamed disaster visited upon humanity by the country of Israel. So thank you. This is an important action, Dr. Swiang. We keep to remind them. I know they know the facts, they know all of it, but it is important to keep the pressure and keep reminding them of their obligations toward their constitution, their people, their country, and humanity in general.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So when are you traveling? When are you going? Tomorrow?
No, tomorrow I'm going to make a lot of press release about this letter. So probably on Tuesday or Wednesday. I have to be there for the commemoration, which is going to be on Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, I will visit the martyrs' graves, and probably I will speak to you all from there.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for your, constant effort and advocacy, and safe travels to you. And hopefully we'll hear back from you next week when you are in Beirut during our conference. And again, always a pleasure to hear from you and have you in our webinars, Dr. Swiang. And please let us know how we can help all the time. Again, a reminder, this letter is in the chat and everyone can sign it. Thank you, please.
Thank
Now
you so
we'll
much.
go, thank you. We'll go reflections for our panelists here. Karama.
Yeah, thank you, Mildal. I don't have anything to add. It's just hard times.
Maisa.
Yes, I mean, words don't seem to be enough. There is one thing that we actually thought about, and that's a campaign to call our elected officials to ask them to stop. It's called Never Again is Now. And it's really asking our elected officials to put an end to this final solution that Israel is doing, based on what Anthony said, that we really have, it's just a matter of days We don't really have much time. We want to do everything we can to put an end to this. So I'll share the link for the call campaign. And for all our American colleagues, please call not once, not twice, but multiple times every day. Make our voices heard, make the voices of Gaza heard, and let's do everything we can to at least share where we stand, on what side of, on history we stand, and put pressure on the elected officials. So I'll share the link, and please take action. Thank you.
So this campaign is ready, and people can start calling today, leave a voicemail, because it's Sunday, politicians are not in office. But please call today, leave a voicemail, and call tomorrow, and every day try to speak to those staffers, to those politicians in person. Again, as we said, they are exterminating the people, the civilians, the children of Gaza now as we speak. They are committing a campaign of a final solution and extermination. And if we, the regular people, don't understand this, we heard from Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Aguilar, who's an expert. He's a career specialist in the army. He has been to 12 conflicts and wars all over the world, and he sees that what's happening in Gaza is not a war. It's different from anything else he has been to during his 12 deployments, or actually 12 conflicts, but more than 20 deployments and more than 25 years of his service in the army. Please, this is an utmost emergency. They cannot wait. As the colonel shared with us, they are planning to finish with this campaign within 1 month. So time is of essence. We need to call now. Call today, leave a voice message, and tomorrow call again, and every day call them, talk to them in person if you can. And I want to go to Ihab Nasser. Sorry, Dr. Ihab. Again, it's a long day, too many speakers. Ihab, are you still there with us? Ihab?
Yes,
Yes,
Nidal.
yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for this. Again, it's a long day, too many speakers, but it's all yours. If you introduce yourself, please, if you wanna share any
Thank you.
you have for
Uh,
the.
Thank you, Nidal. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. First of all, my condolences to Karama and Maisa for the
Thank you
passing,
so
and
much.
hearing this bad news about the passing of their father.
Thank you. Thank you. We
His
appreciate
soul rest in peace. Thank you very much for hosting this important webinar in which we are raising the voice of the Palestinians, and not only the Palestinians, the people who are, is oppressed all over the world. My name is Ihab Nasser. I am the Dean of Faculty of Applied Medical Science at Al-Azhar University. Now I am in Gaza. I was, I succeeded to come out to Gaza in January last year. So I stayed around 5 months of the war and the suffering of my people, and I still have the suffering, and because I am in daily touch with my people, with my friends, my relatives, my students who are, we are still, as Al-Azhar University, we are still engaged uh, in remote studying and distance learning with the students. And this is the resilience of the Palestinians and the ability of the Palestinians to stand again, despite all the sorrow and the pain and killing and the massacres which are committed daily, on a daily basis, in a systematic base. But still, our people are strong and still. But of course, they need our support, all the international community support, all the peace-loving people support. So this type of campaign, this type of webinar will give a hand, will give, a smile for our people, will give a hope for our people in Gaza to continue and to stand against this, devastating genocide, and scholasticide, I call it, because, from, a few, because I am talking about my educational background, which is related to education, and Al-Azhar University is one of the mostly affected academic institute in Gaza. almost the three campuses has been demolished, and with the maybe last week they have demolished the Al-Ru'ya tower, which is just opposite Al-Azhar University. And when they have demolished, this means the whole building of Al-Azhar University, which was remaining, has been totally demolished and has been badly affected. And I think now it is not it's not any more suitable for any type of education. So uh, I am very, very happy to hear these voices from all around the world who are standing with our story, with our narrative, which is the narrative of truth, the narrative of peace, the narrative of humanity against the killing, the ethnic cleansing, which is committed by the Zionists and at the right-wing government in Israel and their allies in the American administration. So here, maybe I want to comment about, that the Zionists and the Israelis, and I am, when I am hearing the story and the support and this type of committed by the Zionists and at there is echo in my voice or something. Okay, the support from
Really good. Go ahead.
from our, our friends in South Africa, who has given a good, I forget the name, Antai, who has given a very excellent presentation. And here I will stop about, the slogan, which is from the river to the sea, and which is sometimes misused by the Zionists and their allies, that we are going to throw the Israelis in the sea. No, it is, when I think this slogan emerged when Israeli is destroying this two-state solution. Not only in Gaza, but also in the West Bank, the expansion of the settlements and all over around the Jerusalem city, and isolating the Jerusalem city from the surrounding, from the rest of the West Bank. This is systematic. This is intentional, that they want to isolate. They want to occupy more land. We can see, the settlers, how they are dealing with the people in the West Banks. They are attacking them, and the waves of attacking now increasing, and these settlers, they are protected by the Israeli soldiers. This is, it's a whole story. It is, I think they are it is the Zionist dream to evacuate the lands and to throw the Palestinians out of their lands. But this will not happen, because we are stuck to our lands. We will stay in our lands despite all the pain and all the sorrow and all the hardship which we are going through, and the harsh conditions and harsh life the people and the tough life our people are going through. So I want to highlight that these people, they want to they are misusing the term or the slogan from the river to the sea. But actually we are still, we are, as a Palestinian, we are still peace-loving people. We are we want to live. It is, a new dimension, which is thinking outside the box, that taking as the South African example, as in which we are living with all other ethnicity in the same land with equal rights as a normal human being. I think this is should be, we should defend this slogan. We should defend our right to live in peace, and like other humanities, other people living in all parts of the world. Uh, if I'm talking about the education is very badly impacted by the devastating genocide in Gaza. killing of the scholars, killing of the researchers, killing of the students. Around 145 scholars, researchers, and academics has been killed from the Palestinians academic institutes. Hundred of students has been killed. Almost all the universities has been totally demolished. And you might have seen the celebration of the Israeli soldiers when they were blowing the new campus of Al-Azhar University at Al-Mughraqa. So it was, this is one of the very beautiful buildings in Gaza, not only as academic building. No, it is one of the most beautiful buildings and campus, which is just, it's established 5 years only. And they were, they have bombarded the whole the three buildings. So this is not, it is not a random thing. It is systematic, it is intentional. And the starvation that our people they are going through, it is also intentional, and they want to pressure, put more pressure on the Palestinians to leave, especially the northern region in one step, and the second step is evacuating the land, even in the southern area of Gaza, from the people. But I think by the solidarity and raising our voice with the international community, I think they will not succeed, because we Palestinians, we believe that this is our land and this is our right to stay on this land. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ihab. We appreciate you being with us. Nidal, should we go through the reflections? I'm also going to share the link to the Doctors Against Genocide second annual conference. Please join us. It's actually next weekend, the 20th, 21st. I'm going to go share it in the chat just briefly. Nidal?
Maybe, Maitha, maybe you can share the program so that people can see the list of speakers and the panels.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if we can, that would be nice.
Yeah.
So please, everyone who can join us for our conference, Doctors Against Genocide Conference in Ann Arbor, Michigan, next weekend, September 20 and 21. Everyone is welcome. Doctors, healthcare workers, regular people. It's not just for healthcare workers, but it is focused on healthcare under genocide. For students, it is free. If you are a student anywhere, everywhere, you are welcome to attend for free. This is important. Ihab, if you're still there, thank you for your contribution. It's very important points that you raised. The destruction of the educational system, of education institution, the universities is never justified by war. There is no war that intentionally destroy all the educational, the institutional infrastructure for education. This is part of genocide, imposing on the people conditions of life that leads to their partial or complete destruction. That includes the destruction, the scholasticide, destruction of education, universities, schools, civilian infrastructure. And I'm glad also you mentioned you commented on the from the river to the sea, the slogan. Again, every denial is an admission, and we know that they say this all the time because they want to deflect from the reality and from the truth. They want to feel, or they want to project themselves that they are uncomfortable with this, that this is a genocidal threat. Although what the Palestinians mean by it is just from the river to the sea, everyone will be free, and the Palestinians do have the right to every inch of their land. To live in peace and freedom among and along everyone else. There's nothing genocidal about it. But on the contrary, in reality, between the river and the sea, there is only one entity, illegal entity, it's called the State of Israel, that is committing apartheid, occupation, and genocide for the last 85 years. So they want to tell us, oh, they are frightened from the slogan. But they're not fighting from the reality itself, the crime itself. From the river to the sea, there is only one illegal, criminal, and genocidal project that's called the State of Israel. And there is only one charter in the world that says from the river to the sea. We need to remind the Zionists of this. It's the Likud chapter from 1977 or 78 that says from the river to the sea, this is all land of Israel. And that charter stands today. And if you still not moved by this, that this is in their charter and the Likud is the ruling party now in Israel, just listen to Benjamin Netanyahu, Ben Gvir, and Smotrich, and everyone who is saying it's all our land from the river to the sea. Actually, now they're not even limiting it to the river to the sea. They're going to Greater Israel. They want half of Lebanon, half of Syria, half of Iraq, half of this, half of that. They want to control the whole world. They are bombing every country in the Gulf. And I think if they think any one of us is maybe a supporter of something they don't like, don't be surprised. They will be bombing you or killing you or targeting you, whether you are in Canada or the US or anywhere else in the world. So the impunity that the world is giving these criminals is a threat to humanity. And the more impune they are, they will continue their crimes. From history, from learning the science of genocide, the history of genocide, we know that genociders do not stop on their own. They never stopped on their own. They always have to be stopped by force, by sanctions. That's why we are calling on the whole world, the whole humanity, to impose sanctions, divestment, isolate this criminal regime, this criminal ideology, because they are coming to all of us. Every one of us
Yes.
will be a target. Even if you are here in the United States, you will be a target if you disagree with them. And we know they have the technology. They are monitoring all of us, and they have all these spyware and all these things. So none of us is safe. None of us is immune. That's why we need to dismantle the structure and bring freedom and equality and peace to the region and to the whole world, because their greed, their expansion has no limits and will continue to expand more and more and cause more instability, and destruction to the region and to the world. Thank you, Ihab, for joining us. And again, it is their projection on the movement while they are doing the crime itself. They never condemn the crime itself, but they go against the slogan. Oh, the slogan is very frightening for them. Let's go again with our panelists. We have Dr. Iman Husni. They had a great day on the Hill last week. If you want to share your experience and reflections from today, Iman, please.
Sure. Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I just want a couple things. I wanted to say thank you to Rosela for her for speaking her truth. Just a really incredible reminder of how the children in Gaza are made to grow up sooner or faster than they should have to. They should have a childhood that is a part of their human rights. Everything she said was just really touching. Wow, mashallah, Renelle working on a PhD in the middle of a genocide. That was just incredible. It was just watching that and just the steadfastness of the people there, just incredible. Thank you for your updates every week. Elvis, for your updates on the Congo, Nathy's cartoons. I love how you're using a creative way to educate people. Everybody's, is trying to do their part. It was pretty amazing to hear Lieutenant Anthony Aguilar at the Hill during the week to speak his truth and just put people on, keeping them accountable. I mean, he literally was saying, I'm keeping a list, and if you're not doing something about this genocide, he's like, I'm going to hold you guys accountable. And the courage, just really sharing what he saw, and the humanity in his voice. Every time he would speak his truth, we could see like how emotionally that affected him and affected us too, to hear that. And I just pray that that the offices that we spoke to you can tell they were affected. I think they're still trying to stick with their narrative, but I can't imagine how hearing this truth, from somebody in the military. He kept saying, I've been to 5 wars, and he's like, this is the worst thing I have ever seen. There's nothing worse than what I have seen there. And so that was pretty impactful. So that's all I'm gonna say.
Thank you, Iman. Dania, you were there. What do you want to share with us?
Hi, everyone. I'd just like to thank everyone that spoke today. As always, this is just very draining, and even sharing reflections has become harder because it feels like we should be sharing this profound message and trying to move everybody to act. But I had the privilege and honor to be among the group that advocated with Tony Aguilar on the Hill this Wednesday. And I have to say, I don't think there's enough pressure that's being put on our representatives. It just does not seem like it's at the top of their list. It seems like it's kind of background noise that won't go away. I'd like to share a more positive update, but that was kind of just my assessment of what we experienced. I know there's a lot going on in the United States, and as we're not speaking up, there's more and more legislation being passed to silence us. We need to do more. We need to call, we need to write letters. I know everybody's fatigued, but we just need to continue doing more. This does not seem like it's on top of the list for representatives. Yeah, we met people that sympathize, and they listened to us. They allowed us 30 minutes for discussion. They heard Tony Aguilar's testimony. One thing that did stick out with me, that stuck out from Tony's testimony that I'd like to share with you guys, is he said that when ISIS turned themselves in, they were treated better than the Palestinian women and children are in Gaza. And I just want to leave you all with that, to hear that, a radical extremist group, right, that did very, very bad things, was treated more humanely than Palestinian civilians. And I'm not going to give into the women and children rhetoric that were, that deem Palestinian men worthy of dying and being murdered by Israel, but treated better than Palestinians. That's something he repeated over and over. So yeah, I just urge everybody, hearing Rousa, just, we failed these children, hearing that children in Gaza are verbalizing suicidal ideation. It's just, we have to do more and better. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dania. I think Karama or Maisa, they want to also talk about our upcoming conference, about the agenda, just a review of the agenda that we have. Go ahead, Karama. And this is happening next week. Go ahead, Karama.
Maisa is good.
Or Maisa. Maisa, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. I'm gonna share this actually as a link. We also have just like a one-pager with the QR code that leads you to this page. Talks about the 2 days of the schedule of this conference. Basically the theme this year is to explore in further detail the medicine's role in confronting genocide and colonial violence, which are both interconnected and related. That includes obviously Gaza as a case study. There's other case studies from Tigray, Sudan, Congo, Somalia, and Bosnia. Sadly, there's a lot of cases, and the cases continue. And there will be a lot of keynote speakers, some thematic panels, and we will be launching our inaugural DAG journal and calling for contributions. So that will be coming up. We also have a memorial exhibit honoring the healthcare professionals lost in Gaza. So I'm not going to go through the entire program, but it's a 2-day fully packed program. We have a list of
Can you just
incredible
read
speakers.
the title of the panels, please? Just to give an
Yeah,
idea.
sure. The first one is From the Front Line in Palestine, Voices of Doctors Under Siege. As always, we always center the voices from, Gaza, from Palestine, from the ground and the areas impacted by genocide. We're going to talk about genocide scholarship and medicine, global health failures in the prevention of genocide and the weaponization of disease. Health under siege, what does it mean to deliver care in places like Gaza? We are going to be talking about anti-Palestinian racism because that's one of the, precursors for any genocide is racism. So we're going to be exploring that. Scholasticide and intelligenticide, the war on the education and knowledge in Palestine. We will be talking about genocide in Africa, Tigray, Sudan, Congo, or Rwanda. And then eyewitness testimonies to genocide. We have doctors returning from Gaza who will share with us their firsthand testimonies. Starvation as a weapon and medicine and the politics of famine. And we have Mother Agabia will be joining us on the first day. And hopefully she will be giving us some closing remarks. By the way, Karama and we had the pleasure of meeting her in person in Nablus. And one of the, sorry, I can share the picture too.
We're jealous, honestly, we're jealous.
Yes, it was wonderful to meet her in the Greek Orthodox church in Nablus, in one of the old neighborhoods in Nablus that has a Christian population. It's called Rafidia Nablus. The next day, we will be talking about the experiences faced by people with disabilities in Gaza and the multiplied impact they face under this genocide, the systemic debilitation, erasure, and extermination. Medicine in war zones versus natural disasters. Of course, mental health is a big part of genocide and the weaponization of trauma. And of course, as a medical advocacy organization, a lot of the focus of DAG is to mobilize healthcare workers to deliver advocacy work, which, Dania just spoke to us about the last day on the Hill, which is, core activity for DAG. We will be talking about maternal pediatric health and the collapse of care under genocide, organizing within medicine, obviously. Part and parcel of advocacy is to organize, building the power and institution, hopefully creating parallel institutions and changing the system, not only from within, but from outside. Creating an alternative system is, I think, what we need right now. Policy and law and genocide, accountability and structural change. And this is really about the intersectional aspects of genocide beyond medicine. What else? Leading into the intersectionality between African American health disparities and genocide structures. And then the closing plenary session, the lessons from Gaza, reimagining decolonized global health. So we're going to end hopefully with an aspirational message and, thinking about a future that is free from colonization, apartheid, and genocide. Would love to see you all. It will be just as important to be in person together in community as it is to co-learn and unlearn and think about changes. And we have a big list of speakers that I'm just going to run the slides very quickly.
So we'd really love to have everyone in person, but I think there's also going to be a Zoom option too for those who cannot come in person. So please go to our website or social media and register. We'll try to do our best to make it a very impactful and helpful and educational conference that also comes out with actionable items for all of us, especially in the healthcare community, that we can do to mobilize more the healthcare community and the people at large to combat these crimes against humanity, and genocide.
I think one thing I just wanted to highlight, and we talk about it among ourselves, but very important to highlight that this is really the culmination of like 2 years of doing advocacy work, and we really want to honor our DAG members who've been, with us from day one and continue to be with us and, work with us on the advocacy. We've learned a lot in the past 2 years. So this conference is just, it is about highlighting the role they played as core members of DAG as well as other guest speakers. So
it's not more about celebrity, but rather more about, highlighting and amplifying the voices of people who are doing the actual work, and also to share with others our experience, our learned experience. We as members and, group and Doctors Against Genocide, we learned through going through this for 2 years. And again, it's a work in progress. Unfortunately, so far, none of us is able to stop the genocide, but we cannot give up because there is more than 1 million child who are still being starved in Gaza. They are bombed to pieces by the most sophisticated lethal weapons in the world, with the full participation and complicity of the United States of America and many Western governments, and the silence and apathy and paralysis of the rest of the world, especially the Arab and Muslim worlds, who are, we want to let them to hear this, to all the Arab and Muslim governments in the world: we are ashamed of you. You are embarrassing. You are a betrayal to yourself, to your people, to your region. Your silence is criminal. You are part of this genocide. You are part of the suffering that the children, the women, the men, the innocent people in Gaza are going through, and history will not forgive you. And as you witnessed last week, the bombing on Doha, you're all coming next. So don't think you're going to be saved. You're all coming next. We despise every single one of you. We are embarrassed by every single one of you, both as leaders and as people, unfortunately, because even the people themselves are complicit and silent and going about their lives like nothing else is happening. And we are proud in DAG that most of our members, most of the people who are supporting us, actually are not Arabs and not Muslims. These are the people of good conscience, whoever they are. Gaza has exposed all what's wrong in this world, and one of them is dividing the world between people who care, people who have a good heart, people who have a good conscience, and those can be anyone. They can be white, they can be black, they can be brown, they can be Jewish, they can be Muslims, they can be Arabs, they can be Christians, Hindu, and the people who only care about themselves, the selfish people, the people who see the pictures of the children on their feeds every single day, then they still go about their days like normal, like nothing's happening. They go and eat all kinds of food in the world, knowing that there are millions of people who are starving. They go about their work, their life, vacations, all these things as if nothing is happening in the world. These are part of the problem, whoever they are. Many of them are Palestinians too. So to all the Palestinians, whether in the West Bank or in Jordan or in the United States or all over the world, who are silent on this, shame on you. Shame on you. Your people, humanity deserves better. Okay, I want to stop cussing because it gets worse if I keep going. Marybeth, are you still there? Marybeth?
I'm here. Yep, I'm in between
Yeah,
tasks.
save me from myself, please. Go ahead.
Save you from your what a beloved blessed task to be asked to do. I just appreciate again learning so much, being in community as a student to learn from those around me, and really looking forward to conference weekend because that in-person opportunity really builds energy to come up with like more creative approaches and ideas in addressing genocide.
Are you done, Marybeth?
Yep, Mary Beth out.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
As a reminder, there's a lot of action going in New York because of the United Nations meeting, General Assembly meetings. One of them is what Anthony Aguilar mentioned tomorrow. They have a press conference for the Uniting for Peace. There's another action. There's actually actions in New York every day. So we're inviting everyone to please support and help and participate. These are all important. All the war criminals on the world are coming to New York next week. That include all the politicians, the war criminals, all of them are complicit of this. All of them, the Arabs, the Muslims, the Christians, the Europeans, the global North, global South, all of them are complicit in the genocide, and the mass slaughter, and the mass starvation of children. So all the world criminals are going to be in New York next week. So please go there, make sure they hear from you, make sure they hear the truth, make sure that we, the people of the world, do not approve them, do not approve their crimes, and make sure you are as loud as possible, because we are the voice of the voiceless babies and children who are starving in their incubators, who are starving and bleeding in their no ICUs actually. They're left on the streets to bleed to death, and whose tents, not just houses, tents are being bombed every day. And again, the slaughter on Gaza is intensifying by the minute. It has been non-stop in the last few days. Please, the people, the children, the civilian Gaza need you, need your voice. If you never spoke before, please do it now. If you ever believed in never again is now. If you ever felt disgust when you read about the Holocaust, about the final solution, about what the Nazis did to the Jews, it's time for you to stand up now, because a final solution is being implemented in front of our eyes now and in our names. And saying complicit or silent about it means you approve of this. And any human being, wherever you are, if you have a grain of conscience and humanity, you should not accept it upon yourself. And any and every one of us can do something. If it's not big, small, but any one of us, there is no excuse. If you are in a place, in a job or something that doesn't allow you to do much, please do what you can. Figure it out. Assess your own risk. But every one of us can do something. Not doing anything is not an option. It's inexcusable and it's criminal. According to the Genocide Convention, the Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of Genocide, there is not just a moral obligation, there is a legal obligation of every human being in the world that in the face of genocide, or even if it's not genocide, the credible risk of genocide, there is a legal obligation on every human being to do everything in their power to stop it as soon as possible. So not doing this, you are breaking the law, not just your humanity and your moral obligation. Dr. Farhad, are you still there? Farhad?
Yes,
Yes, please.
Nidal, thank you. Just quickly, I just wanted again, I'm completely inspired by everybody here in everything they do, your bravery, your voices, all the speakers, just amazing. And I just want to thank everyone for their inspiration and their presentations. I have one question. I think it's addressed to was it Dr. Elms, Mohammed Elms, and maybe Dr. Nasser? I think they touched on this education of students, and I believe Nidal, you and myself communicated about these students that are in South Africa. There's a whole batch of students that are going through that and are displaced. I think there's plans for more of them. I just wanted to know whether they are dealing with this problem of displaced students, um, and on their ongoing education, because these students that are coming through South Africa are going to be having these problems for the next few years. And I wanted to just clarify whether they are a resource for students to contact if they are having issues, or whether I'm mistaken, or if they have any recommendations. Thank you. I think you're muted.
Yeah, Ihab, you want to answer this, please?
Maybe can you summarize the question because I
For the
was
Yes,
students,
yes.
there are some students in South Africa, and many students from Gaza have been displaced, and they're already outside Gaza now. Some in Egypt, some in South Africa. Is there any way we can help them more? Is there any way that
yeah.
we can help them more?
Thank you for the question. Yes, actually, there has been some effort, especially for the medical students who are outside of Gaza, and they are missing, they are missing the practical and the clinical parts of their study. So, by the help of other organizations such as BALMED, they have participated in, in arranging some clinical visits for these students from Al-Azhar University and from Islamic University of Gaza. And part of these students has been placed on South Africa, and another cohort has been placed in Pakistan, some of them also in Iraq. The arrangement, for more cohorts to finish the clinical part for the students who are outside of Gaza, which is, it was a great effort by BALMED and, other allies who helped in this regard. This is one of the things. Also, maybe Dr. Muhammad Ilhams, he is here with us. I don't know if he has still.
Can I
Also,
just want to, sorry, go ahead. I
yeah,
wanted to just clarify my question because I'm actually asking about those students once they've completed their clinicals. What is the next? They're having problems with getting their certificates and they're having problems with ongoing placements. So I just wanted to ask whether they should be in contact with you for advice. They may already be in contact with you.
yeah,
How to move.
already they are in contact with us.
Yes.
Even the dean of the Faculty of Medicine has visited the students in South Africa, and he also visited them in Pakistan. So there is, a follow up all the time with our students in all these destinations. So
Okay.
and any help can provide it to these students. We are not hesitate to give this help to our students. Even inside Gaza, we are doing much effort, but what with the demolishing of the health services and the hospitals and the clinics, which make sometimes the clinical part inside Gaza more difficult than outside Gaza. And now we have signed or about to sign an agreement with the Trinity College of Dublin, in which they are going to host 18 students from Al-Azhar University and another 18 from the Islamic University for 3 years. They will go on batches. Each of them will stay around, each student will stay around 3 months, one full semester in the Trinity College of Dublin. So there are, collective efforts to help our students who are outside. The initiatives are different, but because of the restrictions on movement and no one is allowed to leave Gaza, we most of the international community, most of the organizations who are willing to help, they are working with the student outside Gaza. For example, here in I am in University of Alberta. They have done a special initiative for to helping the displaced Palestinian students, in which they are considering the Palestinian student, displaced Palestinian students, as local student in terms of the fees, and also they are giving them annual amount of money, which is I think it's good amount of money, which can reach to 25K Canadian dollar each year. But the problem that they were able to support the students who are displaced here in Canada, and they are also bringing the one who are in Egypt, but they are not able to evacuate the students from inside Gaza.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Ihab. Nati, are you still here? Oh, we lost him. Nati. Okay. Elvis is still here. Alvis, you have
Yes.
any final remarks, please?
Just to say thanks to everyone. It has been a pleasure and an honor to be sitting here and listening to personal experiences and also new ideas and the way to move forward. I wish if I could attend the conference, but also I just heard there will be a Zoom link that will be shared, so be okay to be with the rest of the team for that weekend of the conference. And for the rest, thank you very, very much. We have been crying for so long for a voice, especially the Congolese women and children. And now we are hoping through this platform, we're gonna reach more people, and more people will know about the genocide that has been going in Congo for so many years. Thank you very much once again, and I hope to see you all very soon.
Thank you, Elvis. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for your voice. Thank you for all the hard work you're doing to help and protect the victims of this genocide in Congo, which is the same genocide that's happening everywhere else. Again, as a reminder, the enablers and those who are benefiting from the genocide will continue to throw accusations at all of us. They will continue to blame us for the slogans, the words that we use, our protests only as a distraction and the projection, a distraction from the actual crime. From the river to the sea is not going to kill anyone, but the actual crime is what's killing people. Calling out of genocide is a call for justice, for humanity, for protection of life. So for them, they want to use every way, any accusation, any intimidation for us to stop speaking because they want the actual crime to continue, which is the genocide itself. You never hear them condemning the actual crimes. They always go against the voices that are trying to stop the war crimes, to stop the genocide, to save the children, to save the women, to save men, to save life everywhere, to have peace, actual peace with justice, where everyone can live in free. They will never talk about that. They always go against the voices. So please never be intimidated. The more they go against us, the stronger we're going to get. The more they go against us, the stronger we're going to get, because we are going to keep the compass and the focus of the world on the actual crime, not on the distractions, not on the projections. They are the one who are committing these crimes. And our job is to be the voice of the voiceless, the voice of the victims, and expose all their crimes. Every time they go against us, remember, they're trying to kill more children. They're trying to enable and give the perpetrators more time to kill more. So it's not about you, it's not about Ihab, it's not about Daniel, it's not about Iman, it's not about Dr. Suyang, it's not about any one of us. It's about the victims, it's about justice, it's about humanity. Whatever they do for us is nothing, because we are on the side of the truth. We are on the side of justice and humanity, true humanity, where everyone lives in peace, equality, dignity, and full human rights, no matter who they are. But they are the ones who are on the side of the crime and the perpetrators, and giving more time for ethnic cleansing, for mass slaughter of children. So never be intimidated. Thank you, everyone, for being with us. Thank you for your voice. Please do more. The people of Gaza need you today more than ever. More than ever. I know it's been 2 years. I know it feels exhausted. It feels sometimes even discouraging. But imagine if we also go silent. How would the people and the children in Gaza would feel?
Nidal, can I say
What we are
something?
doing, what we are doing, yeah, what we are doing might not be enough to stop it, but at least it's exposing them. It's making the whole world aware of their crimes. If we also go silent, that will be the worst betrayal the people and the children of Gaza and Congo and Sudan will feel, because it's not that they're being starved and slaughtered and killed. They will feel betrayed and left alone because no one in the world is at least talking about them. So even hearing that there is someone somewhere, any corner of the world talking about them does give them a sense of support, a sense of that there is someone who cares. When they hear Dr. Swing from London or from any other name from any corner in the world, a flotilla, all these people are trying to do all what they can to help. It does really give them some peace of mind that at least people, there are good people in the world who care versus the evil people who are committing these crimes. Go ahead, Dehar.
I want to highlight something because in the beginning of the genocide, the whole effort were focusing in bringing some of the scholars, some of the researchers, some of the students out. But in the last thinking, we start to think in different way. No, we should help them to stay in their land. So different approaches has been means both to help the Palestinians, either the students or the scholars or the researchers, to stay in the Palestinian land. So because of that, I think we had a meeting in last June in it was a big campaign in UK, in which we have presented all the three public university in Gaza, Al-Azhar University, Islamic University of Gaza, and Al-Aqsa University. We have presented different presentation at different universities in UK. We started by Oxford University, King's College of London, then SOAS. We were focusing in, first of all, to support the students in Palestine by paying the fees to help them to clear and to liberate their certificates. And here, by doing this, I can say it's like a blood transfusion for the academic institutes. And here it's like you are killing three birds by one stone. First of all, you are giving these guys their certificates, either the physicians or the lab technicians or the nurse, so they can replace the one who has been either killed or severely injured or even kidnapped and detained by the Israelis. So this is one of the goals. The second one is that we are enabling, this is will form like a financial input for the Palestinian institutes to continue, because usually these are non-profit organization. It is not government organization, and usually they are not getting any support from the government usually. But by paying the fees, and there are different initiatives, militians, they have the initiatives to liberate and to pay the fees for the graduated student. Also Kuwait is, some of the Gulf countries, they have these efforts. So this will form like a financial input for these institutes to continue in their message, to continue in their educational process, to stand again and to be able to pay for the academics. This is one of the approach. The second approach is, instead of bringing the scholars outside in different programs like CARA, Scholar at Risk, Scholar Rescue Fund, no, they have something like virtual scholar, in which they are paying to the scholars inside Gaza in annual pay. So by doing this, we are making them able to stand again, means to resist any evacuation, or that which sometimes online with the Zionists who are dreaming of evacuating the Palestinian land, especially from the well-educated people in Palestine.
So, Dr. Hab, why do you want them to stay in their land? What's the point? Why? Why do you want the president to stay in their land?
The Palestinian, it's like Palestinians when it's like a fish. Palestinians, they are like a fish. Even when they come here to Canada or to States, they will stay maybe for a few years, but he will return back. This is, as the fish cannot live outside the water, the Palestinians cannot live outside Palestine.
Yes,
Even though how hard the situation, before 7 October, the life in Gaza was not, it's like not, it was not heaven, but the people. For myself, I was traveling to Europe, and every year I am having a travel to European country every summer vacation, with our cooperation with Erasmus Plus. And my kids used to tell me, Father, let us move to another country. Because they are kids, they want to live in a peace. But I never said yes. I never said yes. And when there is a chance to come back to Palestine, to Gaza, I will do that without any hesitation.
I agree. So it's not just, I mean, I agree. I mean, we really applaud all your efforts to keep the students there and try to do your best to continue to provide for them the educational, the means that you can to provide the education for them while they're there in Palestine, despite all the difficulties. But this is a basic human right. This goes beyond the Palestinians. I mean,
Exactly.
everyone, they think they are unique. Palestinians think they are unique. American think you're unique. Canadian think you're unique. Every society, every culture think they are unique, which is nothing wrong with it as long as you are not a supremacist. You don't think you're above people or below people. So Palestinian people, like every other people, this is a basic human right for any human being in the world to be in their home, in their land. No one in the world has the right to expel you from your home, from your school, from your university, from your land. Imagine yourself in Canada. Someone is coming to expel you and tell you, oh, maybe you can have better future in the United States. We want to expel all the Canadians to the United States. How would the Canadian feel about that? Imagine if someone comes to you as an American, I want to expel you. Okay, New York, we found out that we can do a better job with the New York City. We can have a better maybe investment there. We want to expel all the people there from New York and send them somewhere else. Would anyone accept this? Is this acceptable anywhere else in the Palestine, in the world? No, it's not acceptable. No one in the world has the right to expel people from their roots, from their homes, from their culture, from their schools, from their hospitals. No one in the world has the right. And this land is the land of the Palestinian people for the Palestinian people. It's not the land of Trump. For you, Trump, this is not your property. This is not your maniac hallucinating real estate projects. This is not your land. Wake up. We know you are messed up, but please wake up. You want to be messed up in your home, do whatever you want in your home, that's fine. But when it comes to other people's rights, people, human beings, they are full human beings. They have their own rights. Your freedom, your hallucinations, your delusions, your real estate projects, whatever it is, ends when it fringes on other people's freedoms and rights. Like every American people who will refuse to have their freedoms impinged on, their homes to be destroyed, to be expelled from anyone else, like every American people would fight against this. The Palestinian people also, like anyone else, have the right to be in their homes, in their land, to defend their life, their homes, their schools, their hospitals. And it is their land. It's not American property. It's not your Kushner beachfront, okay? Kushner, you want to do a beachfront, go to Mars, do whatever you want, but not with other people's land, not with other people's properties, okay? Thank
Nidal,
you.
I wanted to also say something real quick. Being a refugee is also a very precarious status. That is, it's not just one can move and pick up, but just feel sad about the homeland. Being a refugee means loss of the community support, loss of financial security, significant stress because of difficulties with being in a new culture and a new environment, even social difficulties within the family, because sometimes the parents who are the breadwinners lose that ability and their children become more trying to get ends meet by doing odd jobs, and that creates disrespect for the parents, and it destroys the social and emotional fabric of the family. Also, by being a refugee, you lose contact with your neighbors, with your surroundings, especially for people who have disability. So treating expelling people so lightly as if it is something that they should do just to be safe is an extreme injustice to any community, and it's a massive health risk, because also refugees who move from their homelands lose their health care, lose their ability to see their doctors, be in their hospitals, be surrounded by people who took care of them. So I cannot say enough about how being a refugee is such a big health hazard. Now, being somebody who leaves their country looking for better opportunities and moving from one place to another because they find a job or they find a certain education opportunity, that's a completely different story than actually being a refugee. So there is no comparison. And there's a lot of medical literature about this. Being a refugee is a negative health determinant. Anyway, we have been in the webinar for almost how many hours now? 4 hours.
Yeah.
I think. Dr. Suyang, you're still with us. Amazing.
I've been with us, with you from the beginning. You know,
Thank you.
I just want to thank you. We got 100 letters sent to Trump now.
Yeah.
100.
And we will continue to send it around.
Thank you so much.
Inshallah.
Dr. Slee, I just wanted to wish you a very safe trip and just know you're so loved and adored by all of us here.
Oh,
And,
thank you so much. Thank you
so much. Thank you.
I
We
love you too. Okay.
Yeah. Much love to you, Dr.
And,
Suyang.
and Mesa and Karame, I want to tell you something. The two of you are really amazing. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, all of you are amazing, but the two of you, you know, so soon after the loss of someone so dear to you, you are here, you're working, and you're doing all you can to support people, to support Gaza, to support Palestinians, to support, you know, people in Congo. God bless you. And I
Thank
love
you so much, Suyang. And I want to actually say something about this that has been on my mind since our father passed. Our father passed, and we were fortunate that he got sick, and we knew that he's sick, and we all came from Canada and the US to see him, and he died peacefully with all of us around him. He was in a hospital in Ramallah. We felt that things were not going well, so we came back to Nablus. My father arrived at the hospital where he spent most of his career life working as a cardiologist intensivist, and within 2 minutes he passed.
So he came home.
He came home, his children were around him.
Yeah.
He passed. We had a proper burial. We had a proper ceremony. We were surrounded by our family. We were surrounded by our friends. And this is a comfort that is not afforded to the people in Gaza. And there is not a single second
I know
that I do not think about that. And I think that we are fortunate to have this. And our people in Gaza are not afforded this dignity. There are people who are dying in the streets, being eaten by dogs. There are people under the rubble. Is one of the students who come to the house to our webinar often. His parents are still under the rubble. He's not able to give them a proper burial. So, of course, we're gonna be here. There's no question about it.
Thank you. God bless you. I will always remember what you say, okay?
Thank you, Karama. Every human being deserves what Karama mentioned, every human beings. And the people of Gaza are not less than anyone else. If anything, they are better than all of us. And to make things worse, whatever they're going through, it's because of us. We are causing this, either due to active participation in this or due to impotence or complicity or silence. So the whole world owes the people of Gaza, of Palestine, of Congo, of the Sudan, because it is the whole world that is committing these crimes upon them. As we said before, whether in Gaza or Palestine or Congo or Sudan. None of these people actually need our help or need our charity if the world get off their face and leave them alone. These are very capable, very resilient, very smart, very intuitive, very productive people who can actually help the world if we leave them alone and get our knees off their necks and stop visiting them with 2,000-pound American bombs. We are using the most lethal, the most sophisticated weapons in the world en masse against unarmed, unprotected babies and civilians, and been doing it day in, day out for the last 710 days. And as we mentioned last week, every single day, a classroom, a full classroom of children are being murdered by the genocidal Israel. A full classroom of children are being murdered by America. This is for the American people. A full class room of children is being murdered by you, by your country, by your government every single day for the last 710 days. Another classroom of women, another classroom of men, another classroom of elderly are being murdered every day. We know how the American people reacted to a single murder. They reacted the right way, the proper way that every one of us should react to the loss of any life, every life, whether we agree with them or not. But that is the proper reaction. No one should lose their life unnecessarily. And we agree with that. But imagine and put your shoes in the side of the Palestinian people who are not just losing one single life, they're losing on average more than 150 innocent lives for the last 710 days for no crime they committed themselves at the hands of the American and the Israeli genocidal empire. I hope this sinks in. And actually, yesterday we were talking. On average, Gaza lost 150 people every single day for the last 710 days. If you want to compare this with the population of the United States, Gaza is only 2 million people. So 150 people, or even 100, just 100 people every day, relatively to the population of Gaza equals 17,000 American lives, if you want to compare it to the size of the United States. Do you know how much is that 17,000 lives? That is 6 September 11th every day since we had the memorial for September 11th last week. Gaza has suffered 6 September 11th every single day for the last 710 days. Let that sink in. And if that is not enough, the genocidal Israeli and American politicians are committing more and threatening to commit more and to completely exterminate the whole people in Gaza and Palestine and beyond. So please do more. The people in Gaza need you, need us, need our voice. Even if we feel it's not enough, we have to keep going and we have to speak up more. We have to be stronger. We have to think about other ways to help. We have to talk to our families, our colleagues, our neighbors, our institutions. We cannot stop. The worst thing we can do is to stop. And I know it feels impossible until it is completed. So never give up. Never give up as long as you're on the side of truth, side of justice, and the side of the children, and the side of humanity. Again, next week we will not have a regular webinar because we will be live streaming our second annual Doctors Against Genocide conference from Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan. So please sign up online if you cannot make it in person. We prefer in person. If not, you can join us online. We will be trying to video stream most of it as much as we can. And we will see you in our regular webinar the week after. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for your voice. Please do more. The children need your voice. They need your efforts. Thank you.
Thank you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.